What is going on, everybody? Hopefully, everybody is good. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Let me just double check because I was having some little bit of audio issues here. Oh, yep, I hear myself. Okay, we're good to go. Let's go. Happy Saturday to everybody. Salute to all of y'all. Um, what can we really say? What can we really say? The weather is beautiful in the East Coast, New York area. Let me see here. I'm freaking charging my phone, so I can't give y'all that weather, but I can give you this weather. You know what I mean? Let's see what we're looking at. What is it telling us here? What it is? We are at 82 degrees currently, going up to a high of 84 degrees. Oh, so we're right there. We're close. Anyway, but they basically said today it's beautiful, clear skies, air quality is poor. That's New York. You know what I mean? Man, how do we live like this, y'all? Unbelievable. Yeah. It's. I mean, I'm not surprised, but that's just how it is. But yeah, but anyway, it looks like the weather is beautiful and sunny. Wow, every day until maybe next Monday. Not this Monday, next Monday. So, beautiful clear skies and maybe a little partial cloudiness, but for the most part, sunny for the next six or so days. Wow. Okay, we'll take it. It's been a minute. We've had a lot of wet weather this summer, so that's cool. And it's all the way, every day is around 84, 82, 87, 85, a couple, then the 79, 81. Not bad. The weather's all right. Not too bad. And it's cool because it's kind of like the last time that you can enjoy, the good warmth, warmth of the weather before we get into that fall season. Even though I love fall season, I'm just saying, y'all better enjoy this heat for what it is. All right. Back to it. As you guys can see, I got my morning cup of Joe or Joanne, whatever you want to call it. It's good. Old reliable. Hopefully all of y'all are doing okay out there. Another fine day. Let me see here. Shout out to the chat. See what they're looking like. Shout out to my guy Andios. Appreciate you, my brother. I hope you are doing well as always. Andios in the building. He says salute. Hit that like and subscribe to the channel and enjoy the show. Facts. You know what? Let me get this mic a little closer to me. In a second. There we go. Because I'm going to set up a little differently today, trying this out. It wasn't the way I wanted it to be, but I still make do. Make the best of a situation. You know what I mean? There we go. And for those out there, there's someone out there who's like, I never see your mic. Where's your mic? There it is. Shout out to you, Fliggity 713 Gamer in the building. Salute, my brother. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you as always. Also, guys, if y'all haven't checked out Andios, please check out Andios' Instagram. I know I say it all the time, but I'm gonna keep saying it because it's worth it. Every day, some more fun and entertaining posts, as well as informational and uplifting. So please show him some love on Instagram at AndiosNYK. You won't be disappointed. Shout out to my guy Fritz in the building. Fritz Alcenda Jr. What's going on, my brother? Hope you're doing well. He says, what's up, my fellow Knicks fans? Same to you and yours, my brother. Hope you're doing good. Sherwin is in the building. He says, good morning. Is Julius Randle getting traded? Why will the Knicks trade Randle? Well, that's the point of the show, Sherwin. That's the reason why I titled it that way so that we can talk about it because I'm personally fed up. All right. So that's why I wanted to talk about it today. And I probably won't really be talking about it after this unless I hear some news. Everything I'm seeing, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's the off season. Maybe it's because there's not a lot to talk about. Maybe because it is what it is. As content creators, you got to find content, and so these conversations come up. And this is no knock on anybody. I'm just telling you, you know what I mean. I don't care if somebody wants to bring it up and talk about it. Who am I? But the point is, I'm seeing it everywhere, and I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Why is the trade and Randall? Why is those two things going hand in hand? Why? That's what I don't understand. Why? I'm still trying to figure it out. Like at some point, when do you just let a guy just chill and play basketball? At some point, when do you just say, listen, we are building a team to win a championship. We need all our pieces. Let's hope this guy is healthy so he could help us. I don't understand. I feel like what we're doing as fans, and I don't mean like me or anyone specifically. I'm just saying as fans, what is being done and what's being done from the media too is that everybody thinks they got the answer. Everybody thinks they got the blueprint. This is the formula. Okay. You did this, you did this, you did this. Now you got to do this. Oh, but you got this, but I don't know if this works. You know what I mean? Why don't we go get something else that fits even better? Nothing works that way. Okay. You can't build the perfect team and expect it to work. You know what I mean? Because there is no perfect team. That's my point. You have to build it. And hopefully, when you're doing it, you find certain things and pieces that gel together. You find other young diamonds in the rough that excel and become better than you expected. But you can't just assume that, hey, man, you know what I mean? This is the way to do it. I used an example. I think this was on the was it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was on the Objective Fan podcast. And guys, by the way, if you haven't checked that out, this past Wednesday, the Objective Fan podcast on YouTube, we had a really great conversation about Patrick Ewing and those 90s Knicks. We broke down each of the years of the 90s and talked about, what happened and why did it happen. We had some audio and visual difficulties, but other than that, we got through it, and it was a really good conversation. So please go show him some love. The Objective Nick fan. Please like and subscribe. He's got really good content. He's got 900 plus subscribers. He's close to 1,000. Let's see if we can get him to 1,000 subscribers so he can get monetized and really get his content going. Please show him some love, man. But yeah, I had a really good time chopping it up with him. But on that show, I think I used the analogy of the Yankees. It got to a point where the Yankees were basically flexing their money. And it's kind of the same thing like what the Mets were trying to do now with Steve Cohen. And it's different circumstances, but it's the same thing. At one point, the Yankees were buying. I mean, they were getting every single talented person they could get at every position. And guess what? You know what they found out? Don't work. It don't work. You just can't win that way. It takes more than just thinking you can put the best possible player at each position. One is super costly. You know how much money you got to spend to do that? And back then, you could probably get away with it a little easier. Nowadays, with the money and inflation, you're paying out the wazoo for these players. And then you be stuck with them for years if they stink or if they get hurt. And then they're on your contracts for years paying them big money. So the point that I'm trying to make is the Yankees tried that model and tried that method, realized it didn't work. And then someone, whoever that may have been, said, you know what? We got to find a better mix. We got to go get quality talent that we have to pay for, but we also have to build from within. We got to build from the farm system. And guess what? That turned into guys like Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, I believe, Derek Jeter, I'm trying to think of who else was homegrown during that time. What I'm a Met fan, okay? I ain't gonna remember all this. Whatever. The point is, you get my point. You started to cultivate, right? You had guys like Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, and then you also might have had some pitching, from the farm system that you cultivated, and then you might have gone out and got yourself a Tino Martinez, right? Later in life, a Paul O'Neill, whatever. They just did different things, to get different players to bring in. I know I said later in life because they play the same position, but in the outfield and all in first base, whatever. You get it. The point is, they realized they had to build it differently, and when they finally got it right, that team was a juggernaut. Them Yankees were bad boys. I can respect them because they had a really good team. They put it together nicely. Our Met team back in the day when I was, really excited about the Mets in the 80s, they put together a similar type product. The problem is those guys love their own product. Oh, anyway, yeah, and so Frank Cashin had to break it up. But you see my point. So with the Knicks, we are putting together something that's really special here, but you can't have the perfect team. And I know everybody wants to say, well, can Julius work? Not everybody, but there's people that want to say, can Julius work with this team? Julius is someone that needs the ball in his hands. Julius is someone that's this. All this Julius. All I saw last year was Julius trying to adapt. All I saw last year was Julius telling you that I feel more comfortable playing with a number one option or or another number one, or maybe a couple number one options. He told you he feels more comfortable not being the number one option. And yet you're saying that he can't defer, that he can't find his role with other guys on the team. Now, don't get me wrong. This year is going to be a little different because not only do you have to worry about Jalen Brunson, you have to worry about OG Anunoby. You have to worry about Mikal Bridges. And you got to worry about Dante DiVincenzo. I say that because those are all players that are scoring options. I'm not bringing up Josh Hart or whoever else you may think of. Those are the guys. Those are the scoring options. And all those guys are going to have to touch the ball here and there. Now, does that affect Julius Randle? Yeah, it does. But understand that there was a small sample size. It was a small sample. But, even in that small window, OG Anunoby was averaging around 13 or 14 points. Yeah, they didn't know exactly how to use him, so he was just cutting and whatever, filling lanes, but he still gave like 14 points, 13, 14 points around there. Then you still got what Dante was giving you. You still got what Jalen Brunson was giving you. And somehow Julius Randle wound up putting up 24 to 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Go figure, guys. How did that happen? How did he do it with all those other guys touching the basketball? How did he do it? Beats me. And this is what type of stuff I'm talking about. Like, this stuff is crazy how people run with a certain thing and like, this can't work. Why can't it work? And that is why we are talking about this today, Sherwin. So I gave you a roundabout way of getting to my explanation. This is why we're talking about it. All right, let me get back to the chat before we get really into the nitty gritty. Hey, shout out to my guy, Kerry Cox in the building. What up, Kerry? Appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you as always. Fritz says, and 78 in Connecticut, partly cloudy. I like it. That works. I actually like that type of weather, man. Fall and spring. We'll get there, though. My guy, Lion of Judah in the building. Shalom, my brother. Hope you're doing well. He says Shabbat Shalom, my brother Ron, and blessings to all in the panel. Grand Rising and peace to your family as well. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Wesley Robinson in the building. What's going on, Wes? How you doing? He said, I'm checking in from Strong Island, New York. Salute, brother Ron. Keep giving us the Door Knicks content. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here and supporting. Parrish Duggar is in the building. What up, Parrish? Appreciate you. He says, drought like no Randle update. I guess. I guess so. Air quality is poor because of Canadian wildland fire. When isn't it poor because of Canadian wildland fire? I tell you, man, until last year, I had never heard about these Canadian wildland fires affecting our area. And then last year, they made a big deal about it. And now it's like it's never going away because that's what happens. Once it starts, that's it. Just the same thing that happened with California wildfires. There's just no end in sight. It's crazy. Let me see here. We got Javi ATX _Bori in the building. Does that mean you're Boricua? I always think when I see Bori for short, that means you're Boricua, but I could be wrong. Randle isn't going anywhere anyway. What's good, my dude? Appreciate you, bro. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Cam from the Kickback is in the building. What up, brothers? Salute. He says, salute, Ron, SKF fam. Let's get this season going already. Facts. I think we like 43 days away, man. I'm counting down the days. That's how you know I'm thirsty. I don't know. I think it's 43 or 42 days away. But we'll see. D Buckets is in the building. What up, D Buckets? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. He said, go get Walker Kessler, please. Man, I don't know. We'll see what happens, bro. We'll see. I mean, you know, if they feel the need, I just think it makes more sense for the Knicks to see what they got and how these guys play together. And therefore, you could really realize, hey, because the Knicks are not going to be a bad team, guys. Even if they're missing something, they're still going to be able to win games. So the whole point is them going out there and playing and seeing how they fit together and then saying, oh, okay, yeah, we definitely got to get a center, but we got to get this type. Because that's the other thing. It's not just getting a center, it's getting the right type. Can they afford to go get another Mitchell Robinson type? Because that's all they need because they got enough scoring and everything from everybody else on the team. Or are they going to notice that, man, you know what? We got to get somebody else. The lane is too congested with all these guys. We need a center that can bring the big man out the paint. That is what I'm talking about. We can just say it now, but you don't know that for a fact. We got to see what happens. One of the other things that concerns people about Julius Randle is his shooting, right? Because he's not the greatest shooter, and his numbers dictate that. His efficiency is kind of low from far, right? But what if this year Julius Randle reverts to how he was 3 seasons ago and shoots 41% from 3? I'm not saying he will, but what if he does? Do you really need a center that can stretch the floor if Julius Randle is stretching the floor and bringing his power forward out with him? And also commanding the double team? Because let me tell you something. If Julius Randle is knocking down the 3 at a 40% clip, he's getting double teamed. And you know how many Knicks are going to eat if Randle's getting double teamed like that? And he's knocking down from outside. You know he's going to kill you inside. And he's got a mid-range. I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm just telling you that's a scenario. And that's why I think you got to play the games because you got to see what's what. That's how else will you know? Shout out to my guy JM3 in the building. Salute. What's good, my brother? David Smith in the building, a member of the Still Knicks Fans Army. Appreciate you. And shout out to Flamethrower, my guy 718 Gamer as well. He's also a member of the SKF Army. Don't want to shortchange any of my members, man. Appreciate y'all. He says, salute to Ron in the chat. It's August 24, 2024, and Knicks still don't have a replacement for Hartenstein at center. No, they do not. That is true. Shout out to Sherwin. He said, I am sick of seeing it. It's time to let it go. I was at the practice facility a couple of days ago. They were all here, and they should be. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I don't know what the conversation continues to be about, but it's out there. So DKEJ21 in the building. He says there was, and shout out to you. Thank you for being here. He said there was no complaints in February, no fake fan trades then. I'm with you. I agree. There should be no complaints. We are good. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's because content and media, they don't have a bunch of new topics to talk about. It's kind of dry right now. This is that in between period. So you got to talk about things that are sitting on the peripheral, right? No extension for Julius Randle. So are the Knicks considering trading him? Oh, let's talk about it. And that's how it happens. Well, all I'm saying is understandable. I don't have a knock with any other content creators. I don't have a knock with the media. I'm just telling you, when everybody picks up the narrative and starts talking about it, it creates something that we don't need it to create, because the Knicks are not actively trying to trade Julius Randle. That's one. And two, you know what I mean? You also don't want to put that perception out there to the fan, to the average fan who doesn't necessarily get that caught up with basketball, watches here and there. Those people get impressionable. Those are the people that say, oh, wow, Knicks trying to trade Julius Randle? Man, okay, well, it is what it is. What are we going to do? There must be a reason. What can we get? That's what happens. The other fan that's really into basketball, that's really into the Knicks and everything that's been going on, they're going to say, oh, boy, here we go again with this Julius Randle trade talk. You know what I mean? So there's the differences. But I'm just saying, like, I'd rather put it to bed right now. That's what today's show is about. Like I said, I don't want to continue to have to talk about it unless something changes. After today, I'm not going to continue to reference it. So we'll get there. Kerry Cox says Ariel is iHeart's replacement. We'll see. That could be the case. We'll see. He's going to have to prove himself. Mets, Knicks fans, let's go is in the building. What up? He said, Brother Ron, salute my friend. Julius Randle will be on this team. I agree. I think he will. Parrish Duggar even said, can't trade Randle if he's willing to play small ball and the 4 and the 5. Okay. David Smith says 55 days since the start of free agency, and Knicks still have a huge void at center. Knicks roster incomplete for being title contenders until center issue is addressed. Well, David, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told Double A last week when we were talking about it. There's no rush. There's no panic. Does it need to be addressed? Yes. And I'm not saying the Knicks don't feel like it needs to be addressed. I think they feel it needs to be addressed too. But they're like, let's see what we need. Let's go out there and play basketball, see what we got on this team, and then figure out what we need. That's a smart way of doing business. It makes a lot of sense. It's an 82-game season, and you don't have to worry about being knocked out of contention or not being able to make the playoffs if the first month of the season is kind of rough. You know what I mean? And I don't think it'll be that rough, to be honest with you. But if it is kind of rough, the first month of the season, you start to see what's going on, and then you can understand, okay, when we get to the trade deadline, we got to make a trade. I know you're going to have to wait even longer because trade deadline is not until whenever it is, late January, going into whatever. But the point is, at least you'll have time to mess around and know what you got. Plus, the other thing, too, is regardless of who the Knicks get, and this is what I keep trying to express to people, regardless of who the Knicks get, there's no guarantees when it comes to health, right? And when there's no guarantees when it comes to health, you have to have contingency plans. And in order to have a contingency plan, you need to make sure that these guys can play basketball. You need to make sure Jericho Sims can give you something. You need to make sure Ariel Hukporty can give you something. You got to play these guys and give them some time. Because once you go out and get somebody right now, the Knicks go out and get Walker Kessler. Is Hukporty playing? Nope. Is Jericho Sims playing? Nope. Is Precious Achiuwa getting a lot of minutes? Probably not. Right? Anyway, most likely Precious would be gone in the trade. So you get what I'm saying. But the point I'm trying to make is, so then what happens if, because Walker Kessler, had some injury bugs too last year. He got hurt a little bit, not as much as Mitchell Robinson, but he got hurt. What happens if Mitchell Robinson does his usual and gets hurt? And then Walker Kessler goes down with some nagging little ankle injury. No big deal. He can come back, but he has to miss 5 games or something like that. Who's your guy? You just going to throw Huck Porty out there, cold turkey? You think the Knicks are going to win with that? And then when Huck Porty can't give it to you, you go to Jericho Sims off the bench, and he's cold too, hasn't played, hasn't, worked on his game. Do you think the Knicks are going to win with no backup center? Because that's what would happen. Those guys haven't played at all. Then you got to rely on 2 different guys that haven't played. All I'm saying is we got to give these guys a shot to see what they got. And so that way the organization can see what they got. Jericho's been here long enough. That's why I say this is Jericho's year. If he don't make it this year, I think they're going to move on. Even though I know he's got a cheap contract and all that stuff, I think they just move on. You know what I mean? Because there's other guys that you might be able to get that don't cost a lot of money that might give you more than what he's giving you for the position that you need him to fill. So you got to give these guys a shot. That's all I'm saying. But I hear you. It will get addressed, David. To all Knicks fans out there, the center position is going to get addressed. It may not be right now, but it's going to happen. Mark my words, they are going to do something. Derek, aka D-Block in the building. What up, D-Block? Appreciate you, bro. He says, salute everyone. My brother Ron, let's not be so quick to trade Randle, and let's see how it looks on the court. And then we can assess if he has to be moved and for what. I agree. I'm with you 100%. Fritz Alcindor says, I broke down and put up a mock trade for next summer with Randle. I joined the loud conversation about, well, listen, for you, Fritz, it's a little different because your content is about, more than just the average content creator stuff. You're into money, the economy, salary. You're into a lot of different things, and it makes sense for you to visit that stuff. It's a little different for you. But the average content creator, we are talking about the team and everything going on with the team from a different standpoint. There's a bunch of different things we could talk about. So, and like I said, once again, let me say it again, because the problem with fans is people in general is this: people try to put people against each other. I don't care what other people have as their content. I'm just trying to tell you, I want to flip the narrative and dispel the fact that Julius Randle needs to be traded and not talk about it in that way. I want to talk about it because I want it to be put to bed. So that's where I'm at. Lion of Judah says that's because our so-called Knicks fans can't get over his 3 years ago thumbs down when he was in a slump, and they won't let it go. Facts. Eddie Ray in the building. What's good? Appreciate you, my brother. He said, what's good, Ron? All right, let me start to kind of breeze through. I could get to everybody's comments, but then I won't get to everybody that's here, and I just want to show some love and get the show started. You know what I mean? Sha Powers in the building. What up, Sha? Appreciate you. One half of the Knicks Real Talk crew in the building. My guys Sha and Divine. Please show them some love as always on YouTube. Good to see you, my brother. Space Ghost in the building. What up, brother? Appreciate you. Good to see you. He says salute Ron in the chat. Deron Wayne, a member of the SKF Army in the building. What up, Deron? Appreciate you. He said, good day, Ron. Good to see you. King Ribby in the building. What up, King Ribby? He said, like and subscribe, share. Shout out to Ron. And where's your mug? I know, right? Well, the problem is I've been on this iced coffee thing. I think you ain't going to really see the mug until we get into the fall, when it gets a little colder. If I want to drink some tea, maybe. But right now, these iced coffees, that don't fit in my mug. I got to get, hey, I need a little bit more room. Paris says, Ron, I think he's trying to say most of us want Randle here with this group, but you are being naive about him being the same power player offensively. Not me, not I. I'm not being naive about it. I know who Julius Randle is, and I know he's coming back from a shoulder surgery. I just think that Julius Randle is one of the best players in the NBA. He may not always show it, but he is one of the most talented players in the NBA. He's talented because he can score inside, he can score from the midi, he can score from range, he's got a decent handle, he can pass the ball, and he can rebound with the best of them. So yeah, I'm not worried about Julius Randle. Do I think that it's going to be really important for Julius Randle to work on his shot and make sure he's got touch on that outside shot? Yes, because he is going to struggle, I think, especially early with his physicality and putting that pressure with that shoulder and taking those bumps and going inside and being physical. I agree with that. I definitely think it's going to take some time. But just I just want to keep keep something in mind, Parrish. Guys who suffer from shoulder injuries, it does heal eventually. You can't, it takes a while, but it does heal. And then those guys can be physical again. There's football players that have suffered with dislocated shoulders and have been able to go back to their normal selves. It just takes a while. So I mean, it does happen. I don't want it to seem like his career is over as a power forward. He's a power forward, but he can still be a power forward. He needs some time. But I hear you though. But I don't think that's me. I'm not naive in thinking that. But I also think that people are naive in thinking that Julius Randle is not one of the best players in the NBA. He is. He's one of the most talented ones in the NBA because of everything he can do. And really, we don't even talk about it because with good players, it doesn't matter. But if you've seen Julius Randle in practice, he's a beast in practice. A beast. So that way, when the game starts, you see what you see, but he can really do everything out there on the court. Deron Wayne, he says, wanted to thank your New York Mets for beating Baltimore. Hey, man, it's the least we could do. You know what I mean? We try. The Mets have their moments, man. They on a little bit of they got that rally cap stuff going on where they're feeling good about each other. They hitting walk-off home runs and stuff. Let's go. We'll take it. Louisiana Knicks is in the building. What up, Louisiana? Appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you. L, damn it, in the building. What up, L? A member of the SKF Army and a big contributor to everything SKF these days. You know, she is my social media, guru, liaison, curator. She has been helping SKF tremendously. Appreciate you, L. Pew pew. She says, smash that like button. Let's go. Appreciate you. And hope you're feeling better. She's a little under the weather too. Appreciate you. All right, where are we? My guy, DJ Shuttle in the building. What up, DJ? He says, nope. Randle not being traded. I agree. I'm with you. DJ Shuttle says there is nothing of value to improve the team enough for this to be serious. I hear you. Agreed. Blaze Brown in the building. What up? Checking in from Orlando. Randle is a dog. Yes, he is. And we can't forget it. But let's keep in mind, he may not come out the gate as a dog early. It may take him a little bit. You got to get comfortable out there. But yes, he is. JJ in the building. What up, JJ? Salute, Ron. Happy Saturday, bro. Same to you, my guy. Appreciate you. All right. Okay. I think I'm close to the bottom here. Let me throw this invite out there in the Chizat. So if those want to chop it up on the panel, you are welcome to do so. There we go. All right. Billy Go in the building. What up, Billy? He said, go back and watch the Knicks beat the Nuggets with Sims and Precious. Didn't tell me they can't win without iHeart. Interesting. Okay. That's right. That was a good. Yes, I forgot all about that. We didn't have iHeart for that. That's a good game. That's a good one, Billy. Nice catch. Kareem Grant, what up, twin? Is in the building. Salute, my brother. He said, good afternoon to the chat. And Ron, much respect and love to you and your family. Hey, appreciate you, man. Same to you and yours, man. Hope you're doing well. Animal Lex is here. Salute. He says, salute everyone. Ron, Mitch Rob is that new car you buy that turns out to be a hey, man. You know, we'll see, man. I still feel comfortable with Mitch. I hope he can do some good things for the team. We'll see. We'll see what happens, bro. Wait, hold on. Q Burrow, Mad Thorough in the building. What up, Q Burrow, brother? He says, salute to you, Ron, my brother. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. JM3 says, I'm satisfied with this team. With his team, and I'm willing to wait and see how they play together. You are on point, Ron. Oh, yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, appreciate you. Kev, co-host of Nixon-ish. What up, Ron? Yo, what up, bro? Man, so the one day that we didn't do a show this past Monday, and I was like, you know what I mean? I took a break from content for a day. I said, you know what? Let's take a rest. I said, you know what? I know you guys come on around the same time I come on. I said, let me go check out your show. And then that's the one day you're not there, Kev. I was like, I never catch you guys live. I said, let me go show some love. And please go show some love and check out Nixon-ish. They got a nice spirited bunch over there, man. They got a bunch of good people that are doing the podcast work. Show them some love. And I think you'll enjoy the content. Let me see here. Kaiser Soze. Whoa, a blast from the past. Yo, you haven't been around in a minute. I hope you're doing well, my brother. He said, I'm just anxious to see what the team is going to do. Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you on that. Yes, L says, share the live, share the love. Appreciate you, L, as always. Please listen to us. Thank you for doing that. And especially those who are on Twitter or X. Please share it out because you guys can't, hit the like button or subscribe over there. I mean, hopefully you guys are subscribed. Listen, if nothing else, I hope you guys that are watching on X, I don't mind that you watch and don't and can't hit the like button because you're on X watching, but I would hope at least you come over to YouTube and subscribe to me. At least show me that. Much love. If you're here every week and you like the content, that would help us out a lot, especially because we're on the road to 3K, y'all. We are on the road to 3K. We are trying to get there by the end of the summer, hopefully before Knicks games start. And then we're on the road to 5K by the end of the season. So, that's our plan. That's what we got going on. And you guys can definitely help us get there. So please show the love and support us in that way. I appreciate you. The content is always going to be here. I'm going to keep trying to put it out. And then, so you don't got to worry about that. All I ask is that you support the show to allow us to grow. Even when you guys give money, super chats, it does help. But my concern mostly is that you like, subscribe, and then participate in the chat if you can. If you can't, just be here to watch. But, that is what really helps. We are currently at 2,886 subscribers. We are 116 away, guys. It's only 116. So please tell your nana, tell your auntie, tell the people. Listen, it's a barbecue somewhere. You know what I mean? Go over there, get you some ribs or some hot dogs, some burgers. Who made the potato salad? You know what I mean? Whoever, tell them, listen, this potato salad is good. You know what else is good? Still Knicks fans. Saturdays, Know the Ledge. Mondays, SKF Weekly. Tune in. Come on, man. Show your man some love. Appreciate y'all. Okay. Juan B in the building. What up, Juan? Appreciate you. He said, respect to Ron in the chat. With the Knicks new pieces, changes will be made. Everyone isn't getting the same shots or the amount of shots. How they're pushing the Nova Knicks friendship, he may be out. I mean, listen, that doesn't mean that. Listen, the other thing too is, regardless of what they're doing over there and how they're cultivating this team with these Nova guys, understand Jalen Brunson played those playoffs. He understood the toll and the level it took on him. Guess what? Guess who we was thinking about? Man, I wish Julius Randle was here. Believe me, Believe me, they ain't forgetting about Julius. The Woogieack is in the building. Woogie, what up, brother? He said, just stopped in to see what's popping and to smash that like button. Sup, Ron, and everyone. Appreciate you, Woogie. Always good to see you, my brother. I see I got my guy waiting backstage, but a couple more I want to get into, read, and then we'll get it cracking. Phil Porto in the building. What up? He said, what up, my guy, Ron? Appreciate you, Phil. Hope you're doing well, brother. Good to see you as always. Hey, guys, I know I mentioned it last week, I believe. Please go support Phil's channel. You know what I mean? He's already got 10,000 subscribers, but that's because he is incorporating his personal channel, which, if you guys don't know, Phil is a serious photographer. You know, he does all types of venues and all types of events, whether it be your wedding, you know what I mean, your bar mitzvah, huh? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Graduations, all types of ceremonies, whatever it is, Phil can do it. So please show him some love. And obviously you could think about using him if you need, and he's in your area. But the other thing is he's incorporating his photography channel with being able to do Nick content later. So please support, go like and subscribe, all that good stuff over there. And you get educated on a bunch of photography stuff. He also reviews equipment and all types of things. Phil's a very talented individual, man. A good dude, very smart, understands a lot, and he gets you if you need. He can entertain you while he talks about photography stuff and how he's going to work your event. He can put on one of his tracks and hit you with some bars. Bars. Oh man, Allah Wise in the building. Salute, Allah. What's good, my brother? I appreciate you. Okay, I'm speeding through. Did I already say what's up to Long Island Sign? I don't know if I did. What up, Long Island? Appreciate you, my brother. He said 2 months away. Let's go. All right. We got Teron Mosley in the building. He's not going anywhere. I'm with you, Teron. Brooklyn Butch is here. Salute. What up, Brooklyn? Appreciate you. Poppy Zeph in the building. Yo, bros. Cheers from France. Hey, what's going on? Je m'appelle Rong. Huh? La Plume. Where's my La Plume? And there you go. That is 8th grade French. Thank you. That's all I got. I wish I knew more. Margaret Edwards is in the building. Salute, Margaret. And let's go. Margaret's in the building. Appreciate you, Margaret. Good to see you. L says, don't forget to subscribe and like the live. Thank you, guys. Please. My guy Divine in the building. Knicks Real Talk. Salute, Ron, and the chat. What up, Divine? Appreciate you. Good to see you, my brother. All right. Jay from PR is here. Salute, Jay. All right. Okay, I did it. I shouted out everybody. Let's get it cracking. Let me bring my guy Fritz up here. Fritz, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Ron? What's going on?
Oh, I'm feeling, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too. Waiting for you to fix me a plate.
Hey, man.
I got a deck of cards. Hey, ready to rock.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So listen, I just want to start out the gate. We've already been talking about it, but let's get a little deeper into this conversation about this Julius Randle stuff, man. Look, I get it that he is probably our most valuable piece that we might be willing to move if need be. Mm-hmm. But why? Like, why can't we just let these guys get together and see what they got, see how they look? If it's not going to be a negative, it's not going to be a detractor from Julius Randle's value. If they put Julius out there with all these Nova guys and there's an issue with the ball, there's not enough chemistry together. That's not an issue because not every team has that dynamic. So it's not like it should hurt Julius's value. It just says, okay, maybe somebody was right. Maybe Julius can't adapt, or he's not willing to at this time to adapt this much because he's already adapted. As I said before, it's a small sample size, but what we did see when we got OG and Julius was out there with him, he was adapting. What we did see is he was taking less shots. He was deferring to Jalen Brunson, and the Knicks were winning. He was filling his role. Granted, once again, I am fair and I understand to say that now that we got Mikal Bridges, that's one more guy that's going to be getting the rock in his hands. I get it. But we don't know if Julius is not willing to deal with that. We don't know that. We don't know how it's gonna play out. And all I'm saying is the other thing that I wanted to bring up too is, like, I see that Julius Randle's value is not as high as some might think. Like, there's not everybody checking for Julius Randle. Let me just say that one thing that I don't understand is, why wouldn't you be checking for Julius Randle? Like, I can understand the stuff that's precipitated his past, but even that, he's a Boy Scout compared to guys like Dylan Brooks and Draymond Green and all these other people in the league. Julius is not that guy, right? So he's not that big of a distraction for your team. And the other thing is, Julius Randle with Jalen Brunson, with OG Anunoby for the short period of time they were able to play together, but with Dante DiVincenzo, with Josh Hart giving whatever he gave, he put up 24, 25 points and 10 rebounds and 5 assists in 40-something games, 43, 44 games. Do you think that if he had to go to somebody else's team where there's not a lot of options, where he's either a number 2 or a number 1 in some cases, you think he's not going to do at least that for that team? So I don't understand the whole value thing. Any team, if they get Julius Randle, they need a scorer. He's going to help that team. So I don't know. How do you feel about that, Fritz? Because I think like the whole thing about his value is kind of overblown. It's crazy.
They're asking other GMs. You know what I mean? The specific article you're talking about, they asked other GMs, and I think other GMs, they're going to take advantage. Also, Julius is in a unique situation. He's in one of the top 4 teams in the NBA. Does he want to go to a bottom feeding team at this point in his career? Like, not really. So I don't think there will be a lot of teams like clawing to get him, because why would he be happy going from the Knicks to a bottom team for a couple dollars? Like, no. Like, I don't think for a couple dollars, no. He wouldn't be happy.
I agree with that too. I agree with that too. I don't think that he would just want to just go anywhere for little money. So I think Parrish said something that I just wanted to bring up. Oh, there we go. So LOL, he says, so many guys are never the same after devastating joint injuries. Randle has no trade value and no extension value. So what does that tell you about the injury? Here's my question that I would have for Parrish and anybody. Who says that he has no extension value? Do we know? I mean, did the Knicks come out and say that they're not ready to offer Julius Randle an extension because of XYZ? No, you're never going to hear it because the Knicks don't tell you anything. That's one. Do we just assume because no extension has happened, that means the Knicks didn't offer one? Or we heard that the Knicks didn't offer one? But here's the other thing that I wanted to say. Maybe the Knicks didn't offer an extension because Randle has already made it clear to them that, listen, I am not taking another discount of this nature. I may work with you guys, but I would like to get more money than what I've been getting. He signed a $116 million 4-year deal. This deal that's on the table right now, I think, is 4 years, 185 or 186 million. I was making 116. I've been playing in the league. I'm a 3-time All-Star, 2-time NBA All-NBA player. You think I'm just going to take an extra 50 million for another 4 years? What? Or whatever it is, 60 million, however it may be. You know, I'm not doing the math in my head. I think it's 80, 64. It's around 68, 69 million more. When all these guys are getting paid around me, when my peers are making, when Cade Cunningham is getting 200 million, you think I'm going to just take 186? I'm like, just if you guys are him, would you do that? You already took a discount before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're playing at an all-star level. This team has a chance to win a championship, and you're still a part of this team. You just saw Jalen Brunson take a discount, but you understand that Jalen Brunson, not only is he in his, he's going into his prime, he's not even in his prime yet. He's just hitting it. Julius has already been in his prime, and he's going to be a 10-year player after this year. Why would you, when you know the big money is at the end of the year, why would you take 186 million? I understand a discount, but that's too much of a discount right now because there's not a lot of that money left for Julius in his bag. I'm not saying he can't get another contract after this last one that comes up, but it's just a difference in ratio. Jalen Brunson is excelling right now and he's younger. He might get 400 million in 4 years. Julius ain't looking at those numbers. Could he qualify for stuff? Yes, but that doesn't mean a team is going to give it to him. He's older than Jalen Brunson. So if I'm Julius Randle, I'm not taking no 186 million either. I'll give you guys a discount. Look, if I'm wrong, you can correct me, Fritz. But from what I read, and I've said this multiple times, so no one's really corrected me. At the end of this season, Julius Randle will be a 10-year NBA player, and therefore he qualifies for a 5-year deal worth 313 million at the max, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean Julius has to take 313 million. I mean, the Knicks definitely ain't giving him that, but that doesn't mean he has to take that either. He can take 250, he could take 240, he could even take 230 if he wanted to. And guess what? Taking 230 would be 100 million more than what he was his current contract. That looks good to a player. Why wouldn't I wait? So I'm just putting that out there, guys. We can't just assume because there's no extension being done and that the Knicks haven't necessarily offered him extension. Maybe they already know Julius's wishes. That's all I wanted to say. Now, go ahead, Fritz. What's your thought about that?
Man, there's a lot of thoughts I have on this. I think a lot of fans, they're a little confused because this is not how most teams do business. So usually when most teams do business, it's extension time. The player says, I want X. It's yes or no. No. And then, okay, no, that means the player is going to be traded. Or there's a little argument and it's quickly signed. I think this is a grown conversation with a team that's building. There's a lot of respect between him and Leon Rose. So that conversation is not the same. It's like, hey, Leon, I want this. I don't see it. But they can see what happens during the year. I even had different thoughts of what they can do next year. Like they can get creative next year. Like I even had like certain like creative thoughts of how they could do his contract next year. Next year is a big TV deal kicks in. And when the TV deal kicks in, they actually have to play the whole year before they tally the money. So if you have a 30, let's say you're signed for 30 million next year, there's a good chance that players who make $30 million will walk away with $50 million next year. Because money is the money isn't tallied at the end of the year. So what if Julius says, hey, next year, make it the highest number. Give me 40 something next year and we'll go down, but because it kicks me more money through the NBA. So that's something creative they can do. It doesn't have to start at 30 and it goes 35. There's a lot of creative things. Or another creative things they could do. If the Knicks somehow find themselves a superstar this year without using Julius Randle, and they know they're gonna blow through the number. They're like, hey, Giannis becomes available, something happens, and we're going second apron. Leon says, I don't care. We're going through second apron. Does it matter what you pay Julius Randle at that point? It doesn't matter. It's just money, Leon. It's just money at that point. So they may be waiting to see, hey, maybe something changes. That it can happen. but I don't think it's a conversation where it's no, you're not going to get that, and we're going to get you out of town.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That makes sense. Shout out to George Jones. He says always the same folks with the same negativity. Basketball needs to come back. Well, I mean, listen, I hope I mean, and I did see the response is different opinions aren't people being negative. Yeah, it's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And like I said, that's why we're here to talk about it. And that's why this is, I hope people understand when you come to Still Knick Fans and want to talk about this stuff, it's a safe place. I don't care. I'll talk to you about your opinion. We'll get to the bottom of it. Hey, listen, all that's going to happen is we're going to have a conversation. I may agree with you, I may disagree with you, but the point is you have a platform, you're able to speak and get your thoughts across. If I get to it, there's a whole chat. But yeah, it's nothing wrong with it. And we just have to agree to understand that people think differently, and hopefully we can all be on the same page at one point. In the end, we all want a championship. We all want our Knicks to be the best. So we can agree on that, right? And so there was something I wanted to say. Okay, so there's two things I wanted to address real quick with Big Chino. So he says we need to stop this narrative about how we are ready to extend him, but he is holding out for more money. Yeah, I don't believe that's the case. I believe that the Knicks maybe, they talk to Julius and, kick the tires and say, hey, do you want to extend now? Just ask him. Whatever. Maybe he said no. I want to wait, and we could talk about it at the end of next season. But there's nothing wrong with the team. Even if Julius gave his wishes to the Knicks prior to this, if you're the Knicks, you're not especially after Jalen Brunson took less, or you not, and that Macau is possibly going to take less, would you not just say, let me just go ask Julius how he feels? I mean, it's cool. We already know, but let's go ask because he might change his mind. Why wouldn't you? You're a business. You're trying to save money too. You're trying to have more flexibility. You're going to find out. But if that's the case, there's nothing wrong with that. And you're right. And Big Chino also said we don't know anything. That's fair. That I agree with you 100%. We don't know. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes, especially with the Knicks. We don't know anything. They never tell us anything until they want to tell us something. But to your other point, he said calling 186 a pay cut for Randle is lunacy. No, it is not. It is not lunacy at all. Like, you want to get paid what you're worth, right? But it's all about determining what that worth is. So you mean to tell me, this is you, Big Chino, I don't care what job you do. You're telling me that you just came off a contract, you're still in it, the last year of it, making $116 million for the 4 years, whatever it is, $28 million per year. And you can extend early. Mind you, guys, this is what we also talking about here. This is him extending early. This is not like waiting till the normal extension period happens. This is him extending early right now. You can extend early and get an extra 60 plus million, right? You divide that over the next if you do a 4 year. I mean, we don't know what he would do anyway, whether it be a 4 year or a 5 year. But if it was a 4 year, for example, easy math would be like an extra 15 million, right? Added to his 28. That's nice if you're doing a 4 year. I don't think he would do it. I don't know what they're going to do. It may be a 4 year, but I think they might, depending on how much money they give him, I think it might be a 5 year deal, right? But whatever. Does the money sound like it's a nice? No one is sneezing over getting an extra 15 plus million dollars per year, but it's about you work hard, right? Julius Randle was one of the highly touted guys out of high school, and then a very highly touted guy coming out of college. And if it wasn't for him getting hurt that first year with the Lakers, who knows what his trajectory would have been? Maybe it would have been changed. People are really never quite the same after injury. You could still be very good, but who knows? Maybe he would have been even better. We don't know. But the point is, and then also maybe that wouldn't have affected him. Maybe he would have stayed a Laker with Kobe. That could have been a whole different scenario. But the bottom line is, he was always highly touted. He plays in a league with his peers, and his peers and underlings, I say underlings because they're younger and newer to the league, they're getting more money than him. And it's not like Julius is not a good. Julius is a 25, 10, and 5 player, guys. Now, the only knock you could say is defensively is where it kind of holds him back. But last time I checked, is Cade Cunningham a lockdown defender? No, Cade Cunningham got the money because he's the face of the Detroit Pistons, and he's a good offensive player. It's not about his defense. So you telling me that Cade Cunningham can get a 5-year deal worth $205 million? You want Julius Randle to take $186 million when he's already shown he's a 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA player, right? He's gotten his team to the playoffs. You trying to tell me? I mean, I'm not talking about the playoffs. We know what happened, but he also got hurt. We know what happened. But how can you just devalue somebody like that? You can't. And you think the man don't have no pride? To be an NBA player, you have to have a certain level of intestinal fortitude and integrity to play at a high level on night in and night out, going up against the best players in the world, right? And then to play at a high level, it takes a lot of work and practice. We already know he's a gym rat. We talked about before scenarios where he plays games on the road and then goes find some gym somewhere and he's a monster. You think that guy is the type of guy that said, "Yeah, sure, I'll just take whatever extra $60 million. Who cares if I'm eligible for 313?" It's too big of a difference, guys. Julius Randle, it's disrespect to just assume that he needs to take 186 million when he can qualify for 313. Once again, let me say this again for those who may not be really listening out there. Do I think Julius Randle is worth 313 million? Hell no. Do I think he's worth 280? Nope. 270? Nope. Maybe 250. Maybe 250. On a 5-year deal, getting 50 per. Listen, maybe. But I would be happy if he took around 230, something around there, 230, 220. I'm cool with that. And it looks better. It looks better to him too. His bottom line is going to look better. He's a $200 million player now. He's worked hard in his life. He deserves that. He does deserve that. So anyway, that's all I was trying to say. But I'm not knocking you, Big Chino, for you feeling that way. I'm just telling you that Randle is worth more than 186 million. That's the whole point. When someone says I'm taking a pay cut or they're doing this, it's because you're worth more. Jalen Brunson just did it. We know Jalen Brunson is worth more than what he took. So, all right.
Yeah, I mean, even just in practical terms, for us, we've all worked some jobs, and what if you're at a job and say it was you made $10 an hour, and then you find out they just hired somebody off the street with no experience for 15. You'd be like, what's going on? Why am I only get paid less? Somebody who could walk out the street. You have players like Paolo Banchero makes more than Julius Randle, who just had no playoff experience when he got the contract. You got Karl-Anthony Towns, who's never really proven anything, gets way more money than Julius Randle. So people in his bracket, he can look around and is like, okay, am I getting paid what my peers are getting paid? People, I think you can look at everybody who's an all NBA player, and Julius is not getting paid all NBA money. So, and this is after this is with the Knicks making playoffs? 3 out of the last 5? 3 out of the last 4 years? And before that, we were in a playoff drought. So that's proof. I mean, that's proof positive that my play is making an impact. And so he wants to see his money. It's just a practical thing. Also, MSG is doing good. This year, they crossed $1 billion for the first time, and it was due to deep playoff runs from the Knicks and Rangers. So the Knicks themselves are benefiting. So he just wants his piece of the pie.
Right. And I agree with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think as Knicks fans, if any people should understand that, it's us. We've seen what he's done in order to be with this team and try to help. I mean, let's not forget that pay cut was a pay cut to help them try to put pieces around Julius at that time. So don't forget about he's already what Jalen Brunson is doing, Julius Randle already did, guys. Don't forget that. Some people getting that twisted. Jalen Brunson just took a huge pay cut to help this team. And Julius Randle didn't take a pay cut of that magnitude, but he still took a pay cut to help the team. Like, yeah, I don't want to be here. I want to win here, but I want you to put guys around me. He already did that. So let's not forget, Julius did it first. Oh, man, like Ray J. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. The point is, the other thing too, guys, now we're talking about all this. Shout out to David Smith, 220. He said 220 is the most he would give him because he doesn't want to handicap the team financially. I'm okay with that. I'm not saying Julius is okay with that, but I think Julius would be more okay with 220 than 186. And I wouldn't be mad if they gave him that. That's fine. So, but here's the other thing that I haven't talked about because we're purely kind of talking about money and about what he could command because of the CBA. Let's not forget this, guys. If Julius doesn't sign this extension now, guess what else is happening? Julius is coming off of a shoulder injury. Julius is coming into a team that's added another dynamic player in Mikal Bridges. Guess what's happening? He is betting on himself, right? So for those of you who are saying it, I see it in the chat, like I'm not ready to pay him this amount of money if I don't see improvements or if, he can't step up in the playoffs. Julius is doing that. He's saying, I don't want, if this is the case, I don't want to sign the extension now. I want to wait till the end of the season. That means I know it's put up or shut up. I got to show you what I'm doing. If I show you what I'm doing and I've done it the whole season, playoffs and regular season, give me my money or give me some, more money, right? But on the flip side, if he doesn't look good, if he struggles, that's the position he put himself in. And then he would have to take less money if it's one of those things where it doesn't work out the way the Knicks intended. Now, obviously, there's the flip side too, guys. We are talking about nobody wants to trade Randle for the most part. There's no need to right now. But the other thing is, by letting it play out, we get to see what Randle is, right? So for those like Paris Duggar who's saying, this is this, and you can't expect him to be this player. No, you can't. That's why you got to let it play out. And that's why Julius is trying to show you. I know how everybody's looking at me. I just came back from a tough injury. My shoulder's dislocated. I got surgery. Y'all don't know if I could do it. Well, let me show y'all I could do it. He's also betting on himself. So, and I already said that my thought is the Knicks need to let this guy play. This is the same thing I thought they should have did with RJ, and they didn't. And in the end, what happens? We wound up trading RJ anyway. But they should have let RJ play out that last year and then pay him the money rather than signing him at that point. But I know they did it to save face because they had put him in these trade talks and they didn't want to leave a bad taste in the young kid's mouth. You know what I mean? Like they wanted him to still feel confident about being part of this team. I think that was a mistake, right? Sometimes it can backfire on you, but I don't think it would have backfired with RJ. It did backfire with Quickly in a way, but not really because it's just Quickly. We just didn't have the money. He is a certain type of player that you couldn't say, we got to pay him this money. If he was Tyrese Maxey, that's different. Like, oh, okay, he's turning into something really special. We got to pay him. But they knew they had to let him go. So that's why they let it play out. With Julius Randle, how the season starts is going to be important. If he comes out the gate and he struggles, nothing wrong with that. We expect that. If he gets it going and he starts to look like the same Julius Randle, fine. It's all like, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Fritz, when you get to your point, I think it's all about giving it time, right? Julius Randle starts the season. I expect him to struggle in the first month. Then I expect him to start getting more comfortable and acclimated. I expect him to understand his new teammate, Mikal, and the touches that Mikal, OG, and Brunson will command and figuring out his role and how he fits. You know what I mean? Then I expect him to start playing good basketball. But if after a first month of the season, he's still struggling and there's not a lot of chemistry, then I think the Knicks have to look at it, right? And if the Knicks aren't winning games, they got to pay attention, because when the trade deadline happens, if the trade deadline comes and the Knicks are not playing up to the par the way we think they should play, and Julius looks like he's struggling, or he's playing somewhat good, but the chemistry seems off between them, it doesn't look like there's enough basketballs to go around, then guess what, guys? You trade Julius Randle. I know. Yes, you make the move to trade him at the trade deadline to get that off your books, and you don't have to worry about paying him big money because it doesn't make sense. That's how I feel. He has a short window of time to kind of show and prove, but that's what I feel. I know he's earned a lot, but we're moving on. And then it's stages. So then it goes, if he plays well, we're winning basketball games. We get past the trade deadline. He's still playing well. We're winning basketball games. Fine. Looks good so far. We get to the playoffs, and Julius is healthy, but puts up a dud like old Julius in the Atlanta series and doesn't look like he's the answer. Then we let Julius go. I know we have to let him go for nothing, or maybe they work out a sign and trade or whatever, but that's it. If Julius gets one more playoff opportunity and he doesn't look good and he's healthy, he's got to go. So it's either, if he's not playing up to par by the trade deadline, we got to move him. If he's playing well, gets into the playoffs, he doesn't look good, and he's healthy, we got to let him go. That's my opinion. I think that's fair. What's your thoughts on that, Fritz?
I definitely agree. It's a put up or shut up situation. So I think he believes he can do it, and these playoff performances, like, he was supposedly hurt. So you got to think to yourself, it's like, hey, I didn't get a chance to really show what I want to do. So I think he's gonna do his best. I think if we have a poor December like we had last year, we had a poor December, and what did they do? They made a trade, and that's I think that's kind of where we're at. So then the Knicks gotta show their potential before the trade deadline. Realize their potential. So
facts.
Yeah.
Shout out to Deep Public Enemy #1. Appreciate you, my brother. He says, stop pocket watching the next man. I'm sure you want the best for you and your family. That's true. And Phil had said, I believe Randle is key for us, but without seeing playoff performance, it's hard to look at big numbers. I believe the front office will wait and see how it all works together through the All-Star. That's exactly what I just said. I agree with that. I even put the caveat, because to me, as I said, he's not off the hook, right? Even if he plays well throughout the whole regular season, plays well through All-Star break, becomes an All-Star again, he's not off the hook, because he's still got to show that he is impactful and can do this type of stuff in the playoffs. And I'm saying that I believe he can, but I still need to see it, right? So I'm okay with that line of thinking, Phil. Phil also said that if he offers a substantial pay cut, then I think it increases the chances of a contract. True, I agree with that. Margaret said, OG proved he can win. Healthy OG Knicks in the finals. I cannot say that about Randle. That's fair, but I don't know. I can't say anything. I can't argue with it. It's fair. I'm just saying, if Randle was healthy, it would be nice to see what he can do. When was the last time Julius Randle was healthy in the playoffs? Atlanta. The Atlanta series. And at that time, the Knicks didn't have a really good team and had no number two. And Atlanta showed us that we had no number two. See, you take the good with the bad. The bad was we had to witness Atlanta dogging us and then acting like we were, stepchildren or something. But we got to learn from that. The Knicks got to look at themselves in the mirror like, oh, we're not ready. We don't have enough. That's the good part about it. Now, we're not the same team. And if I guarantee you, if we played that Atlanta team, that same Atlanta team, we'll smoke them. But it's a different time period. So
yeah, at the same time, the same thing what Margaret Edwards says, OG had something to prove too. Before OG got traded here, we heard around the league what people were saying about OG.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Oh, OG's looking for big contract, big contract." You know, Toronto wants 5 picks for him, and Knicks fans are like, "Oh, no way, we don't want OG. He ain't worth that." OG came. We started winning. We saw the potential of the team. The summer happened. Pay the man what he wants. Pay the man what he wants. That's what the fan said. Is when you see it, it's a different than in theory. In theory, you say, "Oh, that's too much." But when you give someone a product that they can't do without, you pay for it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think I think before OG came here, I don't think anybody, the number we paid him this summer, I don't think fans thought he was worth it. But once you saw his play, there's no way we could go into next year without OG Anunoby. And I think
100%.
that's where Julius needs to be. He needs to show that he's an integral part of the team, that you can't take me off this team and this team be the same.
Right.
So
100%.
I think that's where his play needs to be.
Agreed. I agree with you. Paris says Thaddeus Young, Markieff Morris, Gordon Hayward, Lonzo Ball, all examples of career-changing injuries. Listen, Paris, you are not wrong, but we just don't know if it's a career-changing injury yet. And guess what? You know what's the best thing about this? I already said it, Parrish. We get a whole year to find out. That's a nice sample size. And and we may not even need the whole year. We get a nice 3 months to find out. And that's enough for the Knicks to say, you know what? We got to move him. So let me see a couple more. I just wanted to, and I got my guy backstage. I see him. He in the whip. He out there in them streets. Prezi, the boss in the building. Appreciate you, Prezi. He said, so if he digresses, where are you trading him? Well, the thing is, I don't necessarily see. That's why when it comes to NBA trade, there's more to it, right? I don't, when I'm saying if he digresses, if he doesn't look the same way he looked before, hopefully it's not because then we're screwed. It is what it is, but hopefully it's not because he just doesn't look the same and can't play. It may be because of the fact that McCall is here and there's another guy that's getting the basketball. That's one less guy that allows Julius to get his shots up. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe he struggles in a certain way where, you know, it is like he can't play. That's different. If he can't play, we're screwed either way, guys. You don't want him you don't want to sign him for a big contract if he doesn't look the same and he doesn't look like he can get back to that. And 2, we can't trade him. You're right. But at the end of the year, at least we can say goodbye. You know what I mean? And we're not stuck worrying about paying him $200+ million. We can move on and use that money for somebody else. So we're not screwed. It stinks because Julius is a part of this team, but we're not screwed if this year shows us that he's just not the same player anymore. But I don't think that's the case. I think that he will be a really good player for the Knicks. We just have to be patient with him, give him some time to get his healing on and make sure he's right. Couple more, and I just want to bring both of these guys up. I see you, D-Rex, in the building. What's going on, my brother? HP Carlos, salute, Knicks Nation. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Rebuild NYK in the building. Appreciate you. Said OG wasn't a number one option is why he could easily be fine offensively. Yeah. I hear you. Okay. And then also everything Knicks is in the building says salute Ron. Even if Randle averages 30 a game, all-star, all NBA, some fans will still want him out. Well, that's true. There's going to be some people that still want him gone because they just don't like him. I don't know. I hear you. Okay. Let me get my guy Jay Boogie in here. Jay Boogie. What's up, brother?
Salute. 3 capital S's. Bless, health, happiness to everybody on this beautiful day of life. Not just a Saturday, not just a weekend, but it's another day of life for us all. Hope everybody's in the greatest form of health. Anybody is going through anything, we don't pray that you go through it. We also pray that you get through it. Shout out to these great gentlemen and Mr. Ron and his hosts, rocking, doing what they're doing, bringing us great content. Shout out to everybody that's viewing. Please hit that like button. Please share and subscribe. Share the content. And no matter where you at, Facebook, Twitter, just share the content. This is our living room and this is what we rock with. What's happening with you guys, man? Hope everybody's okay. I just wanted to come up here and rock with y'all a few minutes. As you see, I'm in the whip. I'm strapped up, with the whip. And I just was listening, rocking with y'all for a few minutes. And wanted to come up here and, and pay my homage to you great gentlemen.
Appreciate you, brothers. Good to see you as always, my guy. Let me bring D-Rex up in here as well. He's also in the whip. Everybody got the whip patrol happening. What up, brother?
Today. Salute Knicks Nation. What's up?
Chilling, man. Good to see you.
I'm very happy to see the homie in the top right. I forgot his name, but I really like his
Fritz.
content.
Oh,
Fritz,
hey, what's up?
He's very logical, so I like his stuff.
Yeah, no, Fritz is great, man. Fritz is great. Also, guys, I just want to tell y'all, because I don't know if you noticed, people out there, if you go to the SKF YouTube page, the community tab, I don't know how it posts to other people. I see how it looks for me when I'm posting it. So it's on the community tab. But I have lately been posting up polls about Knicks things, and you're going to expect more of that going each week. So especially when we get close to the season. So please feel free to fill out the polls and give your takes on whatever's up there. I think one of the polls up there was like, which one of these Knicks will be an all-star this year, and then the newest one was who is the best defensive coach in the league, and then Thibs is obviously in the mix, so you guys can vote for that. The other thing, though, I wanted to really focus on before we just go to the next thing or continue what we're talking about is I'm putting up content creator spotlights. Okay, so if you look on the community page, or like I said, however it shows up for you, you will see that every day. I haven't put up the one for today as of yet, but I'm deciding to do this every single day. I am going to highlight another content creator in the community. So I think already Nothing But Knicks is up there. Die Hard Knicks is up there. Dope Soul Sports is up there. And I think there's another one up there as well. Orange Tears. So yeah, I'm doing this every day, guys. So it's not just gonna be, the MBK fam, because you know how I get down with them. It's gonna be, I'm putting everybody up there, different content creators that I see that I think you guys should check out. So stay tuned. Every day you're gonna see another one up there for as long as I can do it. And then maybe if I get to the end, there's a lot, but I don't know how many there are. But I'm gonna start getting down the line, but please, show some love and support that, like that, and then check these guys out because there's a lot of different really good content creators out there on YouTube. All right. That being said, what's your thoughts, Boogie? I'll go with you first. What's your thoughts on this whole Julius Randle thing? And however you want to talk about it. I mean, it's just the trade stuff has been going out there. People are talking about it just because an extension hasn't been done. And that's the only thing that I kind of worried about when Jalen Brunson took that money, because everybody's just going to assume that Julius Randle has to take less money as well. He's got to take this extension rather than the one he qualifies for at the end of the year. Like, everybody's not the same. Everybody's different. So what's your thoughts on everything going on with this right now, J Boog?
I want to separate Julius between two players. First player is Pascal Siakam. All right. And then the other player is the guy in Utah, Laurie Marketing, whatever his name is. I understand that Pascal's money. Pascal has been injured. He's been injured free. He shows up in the playoffs, and he's championship proven. So I understand he don't get his money. My thing is, I feel bad that he deserves that money that Laurie Marketing is getting. He deserves that. He earned that. But to make things right and fit, as far as what the New York Knicks want to do, he has to take less than him. All right. and he's up under the pressure to where it's like if he don't take a pay cut, um, he's probably not going to help the team. And the other pressure is, has he proven to have that type money? You know, where I'm at with Julius is, I believe 100% everybody's going to see a different Julius Randle. I believe he's going to be the perfect situation by far. Any type setbacks or injuries, I believe Julius Randle is getting ready to come inside here and ball like he ain't never balled before.
Mhm.
Because this is different. One of y'all mentioned about Atlanta. This is different from when we was playing against Atlanta. Julius didn't know how to be the number one. Julius didn't know how to make decisions. Julius didn't know how to read coverages. And Julius ain't had nobody to pass the ball to. So, but now in this situation, Julius knows how to play this game very well. He has an understanding of basketball. Now he's in a situation where he's surrounded with complete ball players that can do other things. And he don't have to be the leader. He don't have to be the number one. And now he ain't got to be the captain. He ain't got to have all them titles over him. All he got to do is go out there and rebound, get buckets when he's called upon to get a bucket. And if he shoots 38% on his calling to getting buckets, that's a great Julius. You know, this is Brunson's team. All the pressure, Brunson has to make all the calls and all decisions. And I bet you anything in the world, soon as he became captain, you see him all the Nova Cat and all that. I bet you the first conversation he had was with Julius. And I bet you Julius was like, what you want me to do? What you need me to do? I'm here to do whatever you want me to do, you know what I'm saying? And I believe they on the same page. I believe they had that conversation, you know what I'm saying? What people don't think they have them conversations, they do have them conversation. But I don't put all that pressure on Julius, you know what I'm saying? If Julius averaged 18 and 10, 18 and 11, 18 and 12, that's a great Julius for us. I need Julius to be the enforcer, but again, he don't have to be that number one. He don't have all the pressure and everything. The pressure is slightly on Brunson, which he's become the captain. He has to make everything fit on the floor, you know. But outside of Brunson, to me, the pressure is on OG. My man just spoke about it. Yeah, you
100%.
got 40 million. You got the most money. Can you stay healthy? You know what I'm saying? Pressure is on him. And then the second pressure is on Matteo. It's on him because we gave up a superstar picks. Whether we sit here and say the picks don't mean this, they don't mean that. People, you know, we could have
100%.
done without the picks. We gave up superstar picks. So he's the one that has to come in here and be in the role of like a Kevin Durant, be in the role of a LeBron James, be in the role of a Devin Booker. All those big name guys right there is what those picks was going to be titled for. But we gave it to him because it's a fit, you know what I'm saying, bringing them guys back together and a wish that they could do and perform and do the things that they did at Villanova. So I don't put all that pressure on Julius like everybody else wants to, and and even though I know every team has a scapegoat that we had to point the finger at, but I'm not pointing the finger at Julius, and I'm riding with Julius because I want Julius to succeed. I want Julius to make it right, you know what I'm saying? So he can be like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you doubted me and you know what I'm saying, you didn't think I could do this and do that. Here we are, and we making everything happen, you know. He's the second person on this team. This is Brunson's captain team, but this is Mitch's team. You know what I'm saying? He's the oldest on this team. And then it's Julius. Julius wanted to come here. Somebody mentioned the other day, I can't think of the exact person who it was, but somebody said if Julius wasn't doing all these, it wasn't getting injured, and he played with another team, and he was putting up all these numbers, and he said he wanted out and he wanted to come to the Knicks, will we receive him and accept him like you know what I'm saying? Like a person that, we got Julius Randle at putting up the same numbers that he putting up here in New York, but instead the numbers that he putting up, we're not satisfied and appreciated for those numbers. So me personally, I want Julius to succeed. I want this whole team to succeed because Leon's put a lot of effort and thought in how he need to build this team, which direction he need to go. I think is a perfect fit in each and every situation. But Julius needs to get over the injury bug, and Julius just needs to be a little bit less than what he is as far as on leadership and everything else. I think he's still going to average 18, 10, and 11, and 5 or 6 assists. Don't forget he was the leading assist guy on this team before he got injured. But, me personally, I want to see all this work because when you talk about trading, getting rid of all these pieces, I don't know if we cannot win it all with this team. And then again, I don't know if these teams can beat this team if they're completely healthy. So those two different scenarios that I have far as with this team, and I want to see those two things. I want to see us win with this team, and I want to see that y'all can't beat this team because we already know what happened last year, health issues. But now we back. And like I said, we the only team in the league that got 3 dynamic duels. Brunson, Julius, OG, Bridges. And them 2 guys that were starters last year, they're on the bench this year. They coming off the bench this year. And Josh and Dante, the only team around this whole NBA that got 3 dynamic duels is the New York Knicks. I want it to work. And like I said, I continue on saying it. Already got my club quarters in June. Already got mine.
There you go. There you go. Appreciate you, Jay Boogie. Thank you for the take on that. What's your thoughts, D-Rex? How do you feel about what's going on with this Julius situation?
So I think it's really interesting, actually. I'm not someone who has like particular loyalty to Julius Randle or disloyalty. I don't love him or hate him. I just think he's a good and valuable player. I try to keep my emotions and personal attachment to the players out of it because I feel like when it comes to sports, it's like a really big part of what motivates people, and I want to try to understand and be logical. I feel like there's nobody in this team who's coming into this year and is good, who does not have extremely high expectations and who does not have to prove their value, whether it's to the front office or to the fans. And by that, what I mean is I'm going to use the example of Precious's contract as the sample because the terms of Precious's contract are crystal clear. Either Precious balls the fuck out by December or February or he's out of here. And that hurts me to say because I love him, but that's very clearly the contract that he's on. You ball the fuck out.
You meant balls the F out, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah. Either
That's okay.
Precious goes.
That's all right. Hold on. Let me
I'll
finish drinking my iced coffee
time.
so I can start putting the change in this cup for you.
I'll be better this time. Sorry. But
Continue.
Either Precious goes ham this year and really shows his value, starts hitting some threes, starts hitting some shots, shows us something that he didn't have last year, or he's out of here. And you know what? The expectations for this team is to the point where that's actually fair. Even though he's a good player, there's nobody who's coming into this year who they're going to play the same as not Jalen.
Oh, you might.
We know what they're capable of.
There you go.
On a higher ceiling from.
No, you were going through something. You might have broke up a little bit. You're coming back. You're coming back. We hear you.
Sorry.
Yeah, continue.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that there's no baseline of satisfaction. Everyone has to be better this year. Everyone has to earn their paycheck. OG is getting paid more than every other Knick. Show us why you're worth that bag, bro. You're getting paid more than every history. You have to be a superstar this year. That's the only way to put it. Jalen Brunson, even though he's amazing, he is the whole heart of this game.
Well, you might be going to you might be going through a dead zone.
I might be.
Yeah. You're
Well,
like
I'll be
domo
to the point
origato,
because you just cut me
Mr. Roboto. Like, like.
Is it better now? Should I stop?
Yeah. You're good. You're good now. You're good.
The only thing that I was saying that for is the only thing that I think I don't want to see from Julius last year, or before he got injured and before he came back to the team, is he did have some hot-headed, knuckle-headed moments on the court, like Draymond Green type behavior that we don't want to see none of that. And I feel like that Julius is in the past. I feel like the people that's so fixated on him playing bully ball and I think we're going to come back this year and see a new Julius Randle that has spent a lot of time maturing and reflecting and thinking on like how he can contribute to this new team and be a better part of this new team and add to it, and not be, the same Julius Randle that he got injured and was getting into fights in the court and stuff like that. But
Right.
like Jay, what's his name over here? Sorry, in the bottom right.
Jay Boogie.
Sorry.
Jay Boogie?
Jay Boogie. Like he said, Jay Boogie has to come in here. McCollum has to come in here and show us we gave you 5. No, I don't think any other NBA player in history has had the opportunity that Mikal Bridges has had, where you were great on Phoenix, defensive player of the year status, playoff level. You went to Brooklyn, it wasn't quite your thing, but now we're giving you everything possible you could ever need to rehabilitate your team to get to that superstar level, and we're putting every piece around you that you could ever want to get to your peak. I don't think I've ever seen that in the NBA where we had a player who had a middling couple of years, and now we're taking him from that team. We're breaking the bank to do it. A historic trade, the first in 40 years, and we're putting pieces around him that he maybe never even imagined he would have again. And apparently in the college Nova Knicks squad, he was like a star. Apparently, I didn't watch much of that, but I also want to say that to Jay Boogie's point, the most plus duo on the entire Knicks last year was OG and Precious, according to some statistics that I read. So you actually have 4, but I think the point is very clear that every single player needs to come in this year and ready to raise their ceiling and reach a high new level. And there's no grace period. From the beginning of the year, every single player needs to show that they are a superstar. Julius Randle needs to be a superstar. OG and Anunoby needs to be a superstar. Mikal Bridges, we have a period of time to reacclimate. But, I mean, the expectation is sky high and crystal clear for the fan base. We want bare minimum the Eastern Conference Finals. Even if only getting to the Eastern Conference Finals would probably be a disappointment for this team, not making the playoffs. And that's crazy to say, but that's just how good we are and what the expectations are from last year, with everyone getting better and everyone getting healthier. So I think that there's a clear period of time, from the beginning of the season, where everyone needs to. There's nobody just because OG Anunoby got a big bag and his contract is signed, it doesn't mean he's safe. The Knicks fans are ruthless, bro. If OG Anunoby gets $40 million a year and gets injured or doesn't play good, you think they're not going to boo his ass? You think they're not going to throw shit at him on the court? Stuff. Sorry.
That's good. I like how you caught yourself. It's good.
You not play. I'm getting better.
Well, I don't know. I think we lost you. Now you. Oh, okay. You're back. You broke up. You were in the dead zone. I don't know what you said that last part. Oh, now you like that old ice cream back in the 90s, frozen glacia.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, let me pick up one of the points that you did mention in regards to OG Anunoby, because I thought that was interesting, because that's another thing that has been brought up, right? The other thing about what you said with regards to OG, and I just want everybody to kind of look at this with open lenses, right? Because I think people feel like OG has a lot to do or a lot to step up for now that he's getting that 40+ million per. And I don't necessarily feel that way. What I feel is that OG needs to stay healthy, because if OG is healthy, he has already shown the level of impact he is as a player. So my whole thing is, as long as OG's out there, OG's worth the money. I don't think he's got to do much. Just got to remain healthy, because OG's game is different than other guys. Defensively, he's a demon. He's so aggressive. He's very handsy in the pass lanes. He does a lot of things to affect the game, and he makes his teammates better. So how we go back and forth, usually with offensive players, like this Julius Randle make the rest of the Knicks better on the court, the plus and minus, all that good stuff. Does Jalen Brunson make the rest of the Knicks better on the court, all that good stuff, right? One thing we do know about OG Anunoby, and it's not easy to do, he makes everybody better defensively when he's on the court. We've seen the numbers, so it is what it is. There's nothing more he has to do on that end. He just needs to be out there. And then offensively, he gives what he gives us, the way he plays, it's all gravy, right? If he decides one night I'm going to be aggressive and I'm going to go for mine, I'm going to get my shot when it's available, I'm going to let it fly. That's a plus, because normal OG is going to give you somewhere in between 11 and 15 points anyway. right? Because he's active. He cuts. He gets to the basket. He'll knock down the open three in the corner. And sometimes that's all you need from OG Anunoby. And there's going to be nights where he gets a little bit more aggressive and he's got it going. So to me, all OG's got to do to show and prove for that $40 million contract per year that he's got, that 200 plus million, 212, whatever it is, 206, 212. I don't know. I forget. Whatever it is, all he's got to do is stay healthy. If he gives us, it's an 82 game season. If we get 60 to 70 games out of OG Anunoby in the regular season, what Knicks fans not going to be happy about that? Right. And then if we get him for the whole playoffs, that's all I'm asking for. That's all I want. As long as he's out there healthy, we know he makes. This dude was hurt, hobbled, right? Came back in the Indiana series, played a couple minutes, scored 5 points off the bat. Now, he couldn't move at all. His defense was non-existent. He was hobbled. But just look at the type of impact he has just getting out there on the court and not even being able to play his position the way he normally does. I don't think OG's got to do anything but be healthy. If you guys disagree with me, let me know. But I think that's all he needs to do.
I do want to say that to both of our points, if we get the same OG as last year, but for a healthier stretch of games, like there's more games, that actually is stepping up.
So okay. Yeah, there you go. I mean, maybe he needs to work on his conditioning, change, maybe go to a nice Tom Brady diet, whatever. I don't know, whatever he's got to do. But,
But I would say that I actually don't think he gets enough credit because people always say, oh, he hates playing injured, he's soft, he's this, that. Bro is risking his ability to walk, literally, if we're talking serious. Like, if your hamstring is that messed up and you're playing a playoff level NBA game, you could really get hurt, bro. Like, actually seriously hurt.
No, I agree. I agree.
His career could have ended that night, like, unironically, and he was still went out there,
You're right. To that point, that's a fair point. Jay Boogie, what were you going to say something?
Nah, but I can always freestyle and come off the top of the dome. Y'all know that, man. But my thing is, I'm not setting myself up for failure. Them guys, it's championship or bust for me. It's no Eastern Conference Final, none of that. It's championship or bust. Last year was the 50 burger. This year I want the chip burger. That's the aim, the chip burger. That's what we want. That's a new sandwich we're gonna put out. But I'm not setting myself up for failure. Them guys is not going they're not going into the season thinking like, if we only get to here, if we get here, it's a success. If we don't get here, it's a failure. Championship or bust. Vegas got us top 5, and 3 other teams, we got the same odds to win it all. It's championship or bust. And that's how the team is looking at it. I hope all the fans is looking at it. Because definitely that's how Jay Boogie is looking at it. You know what I'm saying? To me, I want a chip. The city deserves it. The fan base deserves it. The Knicks organization deserves it. We just well overdue. And then looking at Spike the other day, on that thing, he brought out a picture frame of a 1970 net. No, Spike need a brand new net, y'all. Need a brand new net. He deserves that, man. Yeah, that's what I just
all the old heads, man, that have been waiting since the 70s, bro. They all deserve a nice
that's fair. Fritz, what's your thoughts on OG? How much does he have to do, or what does he have to do to kind of live up to that contract?
I'm just gonna kind of touch on Julian and OG.
Go ahead.
I think the passive fan is gonna have a hard time telling success and not success. Because, the passive fan is like, Julius scored 24 last year, 26 this year would be good. This year, you're not going to measure in points. You're going to measure how well he passes out as a double team. How well do they read the room? Are they feeding the high hand? It's about the team. It's about doing the little things. Are you playing defense? Are you doing the little things? As long as the team wins. Like, they're going to be nice. Hey, JB got the highest score. Everybody be fine with it. Mikel could get the highest score. Everybody be fine with it. It's about the team at this point. It's about using your skills and helping the team. I think passing and reading the room is probably the most important skills this year in defense. Yeah.
Can I actually ask Fritz a question? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Just because I know that he understands the game and like the statistics much better than me. Because like one thing that I know from the statistics is like we're a great team, but our assist level compared to other teams is not that great. We need to get our assists up. It's just a fact. So I'm curious if you think that like what do you think Julius needs to do to reacclimate to this team and get to this next level? And do you think he'll be able to do it? Because I wonder if there might not be an ego thing for him. I don't think he was that type of player before. Certainly coming to the Knicks, he might not have that much of an ego. But I just wonder if maybe like not having that big of a role, it'll be,
Yeah. No, I thought when JB was doing his thing, you saw Julius deferring. But a lot of times Julius was deferring by staying in the corner. I think Julius could be more active. He could set more picks. There's a lot more he can do. Like just standing in the corner and let JB do his thing, I don't think it's the thing anymore. I think there's just so many weapons. It's about feeding the team. It's about doing his part. And I think on Julius, I think his defense is probably the one thing they're going to key in on is his defense more than anything on offense.
Yeah. I think that's true. I agree with that. Let me just shout out a couple more people that have joined since we've been rocking. Darren is tuned in on X. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here, supporting, showing love. Let me see here. And please, if you're on X, share the live and show some love for me and the guys on the panel. Thank you, Al.
have a
Appreciate
cookout
you.
for all the Knicks fans.
Yeah. Actually, oh shoot. Is it today? Oh, it is today. There actually is a cookout going on today up in Harlem. I think it's 109th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. With a Knicks group that I'm a part of.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. There's a cookout going on up there. Unfortunately, I wanted to go show some love, but I could not be a part of it today because I got other stuff going on. Plus, you know how if you grew up in a neighborhood, I mean, at least in New York, I don't know how they do it in other places, but usually in New York, there's a neighborhood day, right? So wherever you're from, the neighborhood comes out, shows out with block parties and stuff, whatever. Today's my neighborhood's day, so I'm gonna show some love over there. I can't miss that. It happens once a year. You got to show love. So anyway, I think I said what's up to Everything Knicks before, but Everything Knicks, shout out to you. Salute. Appreciate you. Keith Watkins, greetings from ATL is in the building. What up, Keith? Good to see you. White Falcon is in the building. What's good, White Falcon? Appreciate you as always. Good to see you. And then, hey, okay. My guy, Mr. Third Person himself. He's a fun dude, dope in the chat. I actually saw him in the chat the other day on the Objective Knick Fan show. Shout out to the Sporting Page. He says the Sporting Page has entered the building. Thank you for being here, Sporting Page. I appreciate you.
I like that name. That's different.
Yeah,
I like that,
yeah.
man. Salute to that name right there, the Sporting Page. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Because
He said the sport.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, J Boogie.
Nah, because it's a sporting page, but you know what I'm saying, you can use it as in sports, but all everything else that you're sporting in life. You sport gear, you support somebody. I like that day. So many things you can do with it, man. Big ups to that name right there, the Sporting Page.
Facts. He said the Sporting Page needs to see OG improve in terms of putting the ball on the floor. That would basically guarantee a finals berth. Interesting. Okay. All right. Oh, he also said another thing. This is a good one. This is interesting. He said the brother's conditioning is fine. It's his ability to play through pain. This coming from someone who covered Toronto since 2019, but he's still a terrific player. Okay. All right. Sporting Page. Still Knick fans appreciate your comment.
Hey, real quick, Ron, I'm getting ready to hop off.
All right, my brother.
You know what I'm saying? And where I pull up is my it's my third home. My first home is my home. My second home is my business. And then it's my fourth home. My third home is hanging out with all the Knick people. My fourth home is the studio. So that's where I'm getting ready to head up into. I
Ah,
gotta lay something down. That's why I do most of my work because I'm busy during the weekday. So I'm getting ready to go lay something down. And if there's an event or something going on Monday, please let me know. I will be in the city. Um, I'm only going to be there for a quick turnaround. Definitely a whole day. Definitely not more than 2 days. If you can let me know of an event that's going on that I can pop up, you know what I'm saying, and you know, and be on the scenery, please let me know. But yeah, I'm going to take a couple of video shots real quick, me and my production team, you know what I'm saying, and then I got to get right back. So yeah, man, if something going on in the city, man, please let me know. I know you will, Mr. Ron, and anybody else that can DM me, please DM me. Let me know what's going on in case you got something in your area. Jay Boogie might pop up around there, man.
man, sounds good, brother. I will definitely let you know if I hear of anything. The only things that I did know, like I said, was of this barbecue that's going on up in Harlem today, and I think I may be tripping, guys. I think there was also another event that was happening. I think it's today, though. I think it's today at Central Park. It's Jalen Brunson. It's a Nick event. I think it's the roommates event. I think that's today. I could be wrong. I don't know if it's today or not. I think they got something going on.
Episode of Central Park or something.
Yeah, I think it's today. I mean, unless I'm wrong. Fritzy, have you heard about that?
I thought it was September.
Oh, okay. Then all right. Then there's still time, Jay Boogie, but not you won't be here then. But all right. So forget what I said. I got to look into that. I don't.
look at it right now.
And shout out to Fulio. I had a great conversation with Fulio the other day.
Oh,
I
nice.
just wanted to shout him out. You know, we just had a great conversation on life. You know, and I always say when you got these guys' phone numbers, let's not use that on basketball content. Let's see how one another's doing. You know what I'm saying? See how we can benefit and help one another. So I just want to shout Uncle Fulio out, and any and everybody else, man, that's watching. Shout out to you all, and shout out to anybody that's not watching, and shout out to somebody who ain't never had a shout out. This shout out is for you too, man. But God bless you all. Y'all continue on having a beautiful weekend. Let's go Giants. I'm just playing.
There you go.
I'm a
All
Giant
right,
fan,
Jay
bro.
Bugs. Appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah, God bless. He kicked me off with a Giant note.
Nah. I'm a Giant fan. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Don't get me wrong. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, Daniel Jones in the 5th round.
Now it's time to go, Jay Boogie. Now you
Peace, guys.
later, brother. Oh, okay. All right. I saw it already. My fault, Fritz. I mean, you might have found it. So, guys, it's September 7th. But I don't even know if anybody can go at this point. So if you don't already know, it's called the Roommates Show Block Party, presented by Tommy John, with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. Saturday, September 7th. Special guests John Stewart, Mikal Bridges, JB Smooth, Stephon Marbury, and musical performance by Action Bronson. That is in Central Park at Rumsey Playfield. Showtime is at 6 p.m. It looks like you can still get tickets, but I'm sure they're going to close that up. Yeah, the $85.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
That's
for
why
$85, to be honest.
Yeah,
no, it isn't.
That whole platform is going to make a lot of money. That
is the reason why Jalen Brunson could say, "Yeah, I'll take a discount right now."
yeah, exactly. You got a fucking ad break every 3 seconds on that show.
A freaking ad break, you meant? That's what you meant, right?
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay,
I knew
buddy.
it was wrong
It's
as soon
okay.
as I said it.
It's all right. So all right. So cool. All right. There you go. That's some new information for you guys. So that's the thing. I just wanted us to get into the Julius Randle thing, to kind of talk about it, to understand how we feel about it, and let's just put it out there on the table so everybody understands. And I think synopsis is to summarize: Julius is needed on this Knicks team. We need him to play well if we want to go far in the playoffs. We don't necessarily want to get rid of him, but we need to see that he is ready to be the integral part of this team and can coexist with all these Nova boys, right? and we don't care that he gets paid, but we don't want to pay him if he doesn't show and prove this year.
Yep.
I think that's fair.
He got to show up in the playoffs also.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I'm with that. I hope everybody shares the same sentiments. Julius deserves his money, but he needs to show that he can continue to do stuff at the level that we have seen in the past in the regular season, and hopefully extends into the playoffs. I'm just hoping for a healthy Julius Randle all season. You know what I mean? He's normally a healthy guy. He has caught the injury bug the last couple seasons, and that's rare.
He's never been injured.
He's also
before, right?
No, never. And even when he was hurt, he played through it, so you didn't even know he was hurt. So I'm like, I just hope he gets back to being healthy again.
That's why I'm kind of encouraged, because like it's not something that's happened to him where he's been sidelined for that long and had to watch his team go through the playoffs without him. I don't think he's ever gone through that. So I think that definitely made him mature and like reflect a lot. It must have been painful. I mean, he said it was, right? So
yeah. No, I mean, he has a really strong threshold for pain. We found that out, by everything he said so far. And the fact that even that story, which is the craziest story ever, this guy played with a broken leg or whatever it was in college and didn't even know it. Like, that was nuts. That's nuts. So yeah, he's definitely one of those that we have to respect for his pain tolerance. So we'll see what happens with that. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, because I didn't have a ton that I wanted to get into today, but I did want to just talk about the fact that this Knicks team is one of those that has a lot of expectations on it, whether it be top down. The front office has basically put their stamp on this team. Tom Thibodeau has a lot of, expectations on his coaching and how he can get this team to the next level. And then the team itself, the performances, guys continuing to play. But are you concerned at all about, a couple of the players that played really big roles with the Knicks last year, but they were thrust into those roles and got opportunities? Are you concerned at all about their performance this year, knowing that they won't get that same level of usage? And I'm talking specifically about Deuce McBride, Dante DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart. I'll start with you, Fritz. How do you feel about that? Because none of these guys, I mean, they're still going to be parts of this team, but not to the level that they were last year. Hopefully not, because if they are, that means people got hurt. So
yeah. Well, I think people, when they look at Deuce's last year, everybody say, "Oh, Deuce had a great year." Deuce didn't start producing till he got his contract. Like, up to the point when his contract, he was hitting, he was missing shots a lot until he got his contract. I guess he relaxed, and the game kind of came to him. So I mean, I think even if he has an average year, it's probably better than last year. It was very uneven the year he has last year. So I think as long as he's consistent, I wouldn't be disappointed. I think he's going into the year. His contract is taken care of. He knows what's expected. Last year he was kind of under the gun. It was like, are they going to get rid of me? You know what I mean? That's not the first thing that's on our mind. The Knicks are bending over backwards not to trade him. So
no, he has to know that they fended off a lot of attempts to trade him at this point.
Yeah,
they clearly want him.
The situation is different. I think as long as he's consistent, I don't need him to be a superstar.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. I think Deuce, you've heard already on this show, I reported on it, and other people have talked about it, like Deuce being, the secret weapon for the Knicks. He really is someone who can blossom and continue to be just that glue piece that you have that, other teams don't have. That guy that can come off the bench, that can give you lightning in a bottle, play really good defense. He can be like a bootleg version of Marcus Smart. That just gives you what you need, gives you a little offense when you're not expecting it. Because that's the thing about Marcus Smart was made him pesky, is the fact that he would, take you to the rack and get a nice layup, which was solid points, or knock down threes. Like, you're so worried about stopping Brown and Tatum and whoever else you got to work, and then the ball kicks to Marcus Smart and he's knocking down a three. It's like, you got no answer for that. That is what Deuce can bring to these Knicks. When the defense has to focus on Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, even Mikal Bridges to some extent. And and on the other side, you might have OG Anunoby that you got to deal with, depending on how they work the roster, like whoever it is, And then there might be a situation where, even if they're playing small ball, and who knows, maybe Deuce is out there with them. You kick the ball all the way around, like, you got whoa, this Knick team, like, who can I stop here? I can't double team him. I can't double team. Like, somebody's going to be open. And these guys are all, especially from around the perimeter, and then the baseline in that area, the smallest part of the court, they're knocking down at a high level. We're talking high 38-40% for Mikal, for OG, and for Deuce. It's a nice weapon to have.
I was going to say that Fritz actually made a really good point, because I feel like we remember the development of Deuce over the year and kind of where he ended up, and not like force. Because there was a few years where he was doing amazing in the G League, knocking down amazing team. And then, like he said, there was a lot of times where he was not the not superstar, but very, very reliable three-point shooter that we know him to be now. I think he ended the season, over 40% from three, like a really, really high number. Kind of reminded me of the deals, but I think that's the problem we're worried about, is like we're not finding things like.
Man, you were breaking up a little bit. I couldn't really hear what you were saying. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's just, it might be the area where you're in. But you could try repeating what you were saying. Sorry, if you remember.
No, I was just saying that I feel like the problem for us to have of not having enough minutes to go around is actually the perfect problem for us to have. Because even though people can debate it, like, if a dude is sitting on the bench, he's not going to get injured, bro. Like, if a dude is on the court playing NBA basketball, that's when he gets injured. And too much of that is going to increase your risk of injuries, just by the rules of how it works. Like, you can argue that the minutes don't matter, whatever. We can debate that until we're blue in the face. But a player who's resting isn't getting injured. A player who's being subbed effectively for another player of an equal caliber is not being injured. There were 7 games of 48-minute stretches for OG back to back in the playoffs. That's like probably stretched his hamstring a little bit too much, till it eventually got to that point. Or Josh Hart, who goes coast. What's funny? You actually watch him go coast to coast, which he usually does. He uses his abs so much for that. Like, you really watch Josh Hart do it. He's really, like, in his ab muscles is not surprising. But, like, if that's the problem that we have, like, that's a good problem. And also, like, everyone knows their role. And like I said, the expectations for every single player on the Knicks now are crystal clear. There's not one player who doesn't know that they have high expectations and they have to do better. Whatever their ceiling was last year, they have to exceed.
Yeah. I
agree
know
with that.
When it comes to Josh Hart, I see Josh Hart's role different than last year. I think up until the playoffs last year, we've always looked at Josh Hart as a good all-around shooting guard. You could play him at small forward sometimes. Oh, he plays hard. And in the playoffs, we figured out that Josh Hart, like, he's like an instant fast break. And then we used him like a totally different way last year. And I think
he was a different player in the playoffs.
Was that? He was a different player, and it was like a niche, and he found his niche. And I think
he suddenly became a three-point shooter in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I think he's going to try to translate it this year. Hey, I'm a hustle player, and I start the fast break. I don't have to be the general. I don't have to be Dante. I don't have to be a general shooting guard. I'm a hustle player, and I think that just changes everything for Josh.
I think that he's one of those players that when the pressure is on and it's a clutch moment, he actually gets better, which is a really rare quality to have. I remember reading some statistic that like his 3-point percentage during the normal season was like whatever. We all know that. But I think during the Indiana series or the 76ers, he was like a 50% 3-point shooter or something like that. Some crazy number where he was like dramatically, insanely better at 3-point shooting in the playoffs specifically. And apparently he's working on his three. So also it should be said that the threes that he hit were like especially good and useful and timely threes to hit. Like when he hit them was instrumental in every single game.
Pivotal. Pivotal.
Every single one was like massive.
Huge.
So the fact that not only that Josh Hart is working on his three, but Randle, I'm sure everyone is, even Precious, OG, like there were some games where I think the Pacers just like they just shoot more probably because they are so about passing and moving the ball, but they were games where they were straight up out shooting us. Like not just the amount, but their conversion rate. I don't know what it is that they have going on over there, but they had like in the final game, their shooting rate was what, like 70% from the field or something like that, like some crazy number, you know? But the fact that we're going into this year knowing like, yo, if Josh Hart hits a three in any of these playoff games in a big moment, we're probably winning that game. You know, there's a really high chance that like we're at a down moment, he's open. Because those were the moments where he hit three is like, first of all, if he overthought it, he didn't hit them. That was a problem, or he would do something that didn't translate to a basket. If he would just shoot it right away, he would usually hit it. But there were times where he'd be like, oh, like I'm here, I'm looking around, I'm alone, let me just shoot the three, and boom, it went in, you know? The fact that he's going to this game that we know that him hitting a three is instrumental for us and he's working on it, and everyone else around him is going to be better also. I don't know, man. That's a really good thing to hear.
Yeah, no, I love it. And let me tell you something, another thing too. And if I don't see it this way, I'm gonna be upset. I gotta see it like this at least sometimes. Mikal Bridges is really good at knocking down the corner three. So is OG Anunoby. Guess what? Julius Randle can knock down the corner three, but he doesn't really like shooting from the corner. If you see, he's like more on the wings of the perimeter as well as from the middle. That works perfectly in what we could do out there because you know Jalen Brunson is going to be at the top of the key, right? So imagine Jalen Brunson bringing the ball up the court on one side, on the left-hand side on the top, Julius Randle on the right side at the top. Then you got Mikal and OG on either end in the corners, and you got your center in the middle. That is perfect for the best possible scenario for production as far as this Knicks team goes. As soon as you start to move the ball around, people are shooting from spots where they're really comfortable at. And, you know, for Jalen Brunson, it doesn't matter where he is on the court. I really like that dynamic, man. I'm really digging that. So we got to see how it all translates, but I feel good about it.
I just have one thing that like I want to bring up. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm a little bit concerned about OKC. Not that I don't think we can beat them, but last year we only won by 1 point, and obviously we had like not only did we lose Hartenstein, but they gained Hartenstein. Again, I don't think they're unbeatable, but I just think it'll be like a tough opponent that a lot of people aren't talking about right now.
Well, look, if it makes you feel any better, D-Rex, we're only going to play OKC twice a year, all right? Out of an 82-game season, that's 2 games of impact right there. And if we play them a third time, you know what that means.
Right.
So if we got to play OKC, we want to play OKC 3 or more times because you know what that means. That means we're in the NBA Finals against them, and wouldn't that be fantastic? The young versus the, I don't want to say the old, but the middle of the pack age-wise team, the youth. Then you got Robinson versus Hartenstein. Are you kidding me? Let's set it up. Come on, NBA. Where's this guy? Let me call it in.
Hey, the NBA don't believe in what you call it? Don't believe in OKC.
I know.
They put
them
him on TV like 5 times.
That's crazy. And OKC is a young beast, so they better watch it.
Seed, a potential number 1 seed. You don't put them on TV 5 times.
Unbelievable. They've got one of the best young teams in the league. They've got one of the best defensive coaches in the league. And they've added a nice piece in Hartenstein. I don't know what they're thinking over there, OKC, as far as, I mean, what the NBA's thinking, but hey, it is what it is. Let that's OKC's problem. The Knicks have been there and done that. We rocking what we rocking. So shout out to everybody once again in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Please, if you haven't already, I have not checked where we're at. Please smash that like button, show your love for the show. Thank you guys for being here. Can't tell you how much it means to me to be able to come here every Saturday and chop it up with you guys and have this great type of Knick conversation, because it's the highlight, of my Saturday mornings. I can't tell you how much I enjoy this. I want to say what's up to my guy, Coach Sire, in the building. What up, Coach? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing good, my brother. Always good to see you. My guy D-Raz in the building. Salute D-Raz. Says salute all grandchildren day, but listening. I appreciate that, my brother. You're gonna have one headphone with Still Knick fans, the other headphone. What? Huh? They definitely gonna be calling Grandpa. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of that. My guy Vaughn Allen in the building. What up, Vaughn? Appreciate you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Yes. He said Knicks have 3 or 4 of the top corner 3-point shooters in the league. So I'm saying, man, it's a really good problem to have. And I'm just talking about the starting lineup, not even talking about when you got the Italian stallion, the leaning tower of pizza, Mr. Dante DiVincenzo coming off the bench. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like it could get kidding. It could get kind of great. And Deuce too. Deuce is also someone who shoots the corner 3 very well at 40%. Man, I'm digging
Dante
it. I like
was the number 3 3-point scorer in all of NBA last year. That's you can't say that enough.
Knicks are in a really good position to make a lot
and
of
he's on our bench.
Exactly. That is going to be the biggest thing, that when the season starts, we are all going to look at how this team plays. We're going to love what we're getting from the starters, but we are going to say, man, did you see what happened when the bench came in, guys? Do you see how Deuce got his? Josh Hart was grabbing reads and Dante was knocking it down. And then you had what I'm telling you, that bench. We always talk about it in the before. Remember, there was a couple years ago when we were like, we were calling it the bench mob and like, oh man, our bench is so much better. And it started off that way. I believe it was Emmanuel Quickly and OG were kind of leading, and the bench started off really solid that one year, and then they kind of started to trail off. But this bench is a legitimate bench that can do some things. Along with the addition of one of the starters playing with the bench unit, we can have a really nice bench mob, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Shout out to Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat, my brother. He said weekly support, nothing new. I want Randle on our starting 5 so DiVincenzo can start at the 2. Julius and OG can play the 4 and 5 with Bridges at the 3. Randle at the 5. DiVincenzo can start at the 2. Julius, OG could play the 4 and 5 with Bridges at the 3.
I was talking with Lawrence Cheers about that the other day, and it started a whole conversation.
What do you think about that? Yeah.
No, because people are like, should Mikal start or Dante start? And I said, I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter. I think they're going to get their minutes. I don't think the Knicks could really
I don't think it should be set
rely
in
on
stone.
Robinson. I don't think they really could rely on Robinson that much. And I think they're going to have a lot of lineups where Mikal and Dante are in there at the same time. So
I mean, it could be that 2 of them are having a great night and you need to put them out there more. It could just be that they match up well for a certain team or something,
Yeah. And the media is going to be clamoring for that. That's going to be the side talk that we never get to hear. When 2 of them are out there or 3 of them are out there. Hey, you guys think you can put all of the Nova boys out there at one time so we can, the media wants to talk about that, of course. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I definitely think that's going to be something that is really interesting, and they can do it easily. Like, because you could easily you keep Brunson at the point. You can put in a small ball lineup, put Josh Hart at the 4, right? Have even Mikal at the 3, and then Dante at the 2, right? And then the 5 can be whoever. It could be Precious, it could be Julius, it could be whoever you're thinking in the small ball lineup. But I think you're going to see it at some point. I think you're going to see it. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
I have to say, we all have things that we're looking forward to seeing this season. I'm just very excited because I know all the core guys from last year are going to have amazing highlights. I'm just really excited for Huck 40 and hopefully Kolek balling out and having some nice moments. I think those guys can really contribute a lot. It could be really exciting.
That is a great man. Look at this guy. D-Rex must be watching the show, man. That is a great segue. I didn't plan that, y'all. He just knows. First of all, let me shout out Kevin Middleton. Thank you for being here, Kevin. He said Knicks have the top. Oh, wait, did I read this already? I think I did. My bad. Shout out to you, Kevin. I forgot to shout you out, though. I appreciate you, Kevin. Vaughn Allen says Knicks tape 2.0. We'll see. So to the segue. Tyler Kolek, right? So in a recent article,
that's a nice thing to see.
Yeah, in a recent article by Fred Katz of The Athletic, he reports that Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau is a massive fan of Marquette point guard Tyler Kolek and was pushing for the Knicks to draft him. Also, what's not written here, but is a part of this article, is that Tom Thibodeau believed that Tyler Kolek could be the steal of the draft. A few of the guards in this year's draft are great shooters, and a few of them are elite passers, but Kolek is both. His versatility could lead the Knicks to use him in many different ways on offense, and in his first year with the team, making him even more valuable than anyone could have predicted. So, that is very interesting news, guys, because, usually when it comes to Tom Thibodeau, when we always talk about a Tom Thibodeau type player, we always talk about a defensive type player or a Swiss Army knife type player who can play, different positions and do different things. Tyler Kolek doesn't really fit the build on the defensive side or in the Swiss Army side, but on offense, his versatility with being able to score the basketball and pass at a high level is very interesting. And the fact that Tom Thibodeau was high on this young man, the fact that the Knicks gave him the richest contract for a second-round pick in NBA history is telling. So to those who say Tyler Kolek is just going to be like every other rookie that doesn't get any playing time and is not a part of this team, I don't know.
I gotta be honest, that little article that you just posted right there, that's like one of the most encouraging things I've read for the upcoming season, the entire summer so far. Because that's what everyone says. We paid $9 million for this guy. Everyone who's watched one of his games can say this guy is a nuts passer. He's crazy. I mean, his passes are the spinning pass he did in summer league was out of this world, bro. Whoever saw something like that, you know the one I'm talking about, right?
I do. I do.
Our team needs more assists. Period. We need to up our assist level, and we need playmaking when Jalen Brunson is sitting down. Those are two things we need, and that's Tyler Kolek. Whether or not he's a rookie, we badly need his skill set, and we're paying a lot of money to have him here, so we should use him.
Listen, that's a fair point. If they can figure out a way to use him, I'm with it. It's just going to be it's going to be very tough because we do have another piece with Macau that's going to need valuable minutes. You get Julius coming back. How do you fit Deuce in to give him something to make him useful, and then still giving Dante and Josh Hart a good amount of minutes because we know they play really well with extended minutes, and that's part of the reason why. No, I was going to say maybe that's part of the reason why, for example, Dante DiVincenzo had his best year of his career. Because if you look at Dante's numbers, he's always had pretty solid years, but he never got this level of play and level of minutes he's got with the Knicks this past year. The other thing about Dante is that historically, if you looked at Dante's career, his numbers, Dante has always looked like a pretty good regular season player, but people started to point to his lack of that same type of level of play in the playoffs, right? So that was one of those things coming into this playoffs. If you remember, some of the content creators that talked about it and discussed that, man, he hasn't really shown great numbers in the playoffs, even with Golden State and that system they have over there. But guess what? This past year with the Knicks, he looked great in the playoffs. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. Fritz, what's your thoughts?
It's encouraging about Kolek. I like his.
I'm sorry. I forgot one thing, Fritz. I apologize.
Sure.
I should have said this while I was reading the article. I apologize. Also, I want to shout out Athlon Sports and Jonah Morgan because he wrote the article referencing Fred Katz. I apologize for that. I got to be better on my P's and Q's. Continue, my brother.
Yeah, I really like the kid's competitive nature. He's just his head is you can tell he wants to play. He really.
Be hungry.
I think he's hungry. I think the Knicks are gonna sit him right off. I think he's just chomping at the bit in practice. I think in practice I think he's going at guys in practice. I think with the Knicks in the lineup they have, it's simple for him. He doesn't have to be the rookie and it's like go and impress us or do everything. So it's like, okay, go out there and start the offense, and he does what he does naturally, which is passing is like second nature to him. You don't have to worry about scoring. I think that's what it is. They're going to keep it simple for him. He's going to go out there, do what you naturally do.
I think that actually, Ron, the lineup that you said what, like Mikal, OG, maybe Dante and Josh Hart with Tyler Kolek out there is like, all you got to do is pass to those guys. He was already doing great stuff passing to people that are nowhere near the level of shooting that Dante is. Can you imagine, like, after a few practices with Dante, I like the ball over here, you get Tyler Kolek's level of skill throwing in the ball like that? Like, dude is he's eating their lunch, bro, at that point, you know? Like, I can only imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they can do that particular lineup. It would have to be against a really small team that's playing small ball.
A little on the short side.
Because the problem is that
hold on. Addendum
yeah.
with Huckporty.
Yeah. Because I don't know if that would be a little too small in a lot of instances. Yeah, because the other thing too is, which is a little bit of a drawback, is you could put Josh Hart at the 4 because he's such an incredible rebounder for his size. He's not that great at the 5. At the 5, he really looks small.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is Mikal Bridges is not a great rebounder in his own right. He's an adequate rebounder. He's not a, if you ever look at Mikal's numbers, you'll notice he doesn't get a lot of triple doubles. He's just, the rebounding side of his game is not his strongest. So that's a problem. If he was a better rebounder, then maybe you could even experiment a little bit more with something like that. Oh, I feel like you were trying to say something, D-Rex, but I think you froze up.
Look at all those videos.
Wait, what'd you say? Can you repeat that?
Oh, I think.
Oh, you are caught in the Matrix. You are in Max Headroom territory. Listen, I used to watch Max Headroom, okay? Whenever I can get that off, I get it off. Anyway, let me shout out a couple more people real quick. Sorry. Shout out to my guy, Julian Blum in the building. What up, Julian? Good to see you, my brother. I appreciate you. It's good to see you as always. Hope your channel is doing well. Guys, please support Julian Blum and his YouTube channel. I forget the name, Julian. You know how my memory is. It's trash. I'm really good at faces. That's what I can say. Shout out to my guy, Donald DiMichele in the building. What up, Donald? Appreciate you. Knicks not trading Randle. I agree. Unless something else happens. Hey, there he is. Randu 1973 in the building. What up, Randu?
Hey,
appreciate you. Good to see you. Salute. And let me see here. Joe Curry's in the building. What up, Joe? He said, I never liked getting Payne myself. He's a redundancy. I forgot all about Payne, man. I'm still getting used to having this guy on the team. That's gonna be another one, man. Yeah, I don't know. Payne is just gonna
like for people like campaign and like that's them stacking resources for a trade.
Right. It could, yeah, that's a possibility too. Stacking resources and the break bottle in case type thing. You know what I mean? If there is some nagging injuries, if stuff does happen where guys get hurt, it's nice to have someone, you can go to Cameron Payne on the bench, not go to, Joe Schmo, who's never played an NBA game, and figure out if he can help us. Cameron Payne, who has experience,
let me
and
say
knows how to
something
play.
To that point.
Mm-hmm.
Is like we clearly got to a point in the last season where there were NBA players on our roster like Mamadi Diakite and Shake Milton, but either the team didn't trust them or coach was unwilling to play them. Like we needed healthy bodies. There were healthy bodies, and they clearly didn't trust them enough to play them.
Right.
So at bare minimum, if we ever get to that point again this season, I would hope that they traded for campaign to be like,
we get to that same position, we'll at least have enough faith in campaign to put him out there on the floor for a couple minutes and be fine with it. Instead of just, we will never play him.
Right.
You know?
And I agree with that. And I just want to say that it was fair for Tom Thibodeau, knowing the direction of the team and knowing what he went through in the past couple of years. So let's not forget, it's not that far removed when Tom Thibodeau's job was on the line, right? When he was forced to play certain players that didn't necessarily fit what he wanted. And the team was struggling because of it. And he had to make a decision. No, I'm not playing Fournier no more. No, I'm not playing Kemba no more. No, I'm not playing Cam Reddish no more. And then the Knicks started winning. So I think Thibodeau's at the mindset now, if you don't show me what I need to see in practice, or if I give you some time out there in the court and I don't see you making a difference right away, I can't do it. I can't trust you. And I think that's what happened with Shake Milton and whoever else we might have had on the bench. And specifically, I want to talk about Shake because I've seen a lot of people bring up Shake in the past, like, oh, not in the same level of like Cam Reddish or these other guys, but just saying like we had him and we didn't really give him a good shot. The problem with Shake, guys, the problem with Shake is to me, it's out of sight, out of mind. So I don't know exactly what guys are doing. I'm a Knicks fan. But when I looked at Shake's play before he came to the Knicks wasn't that great, guys. And then when you look at a highlight package of Shake, every time they showing Shake shaking and baking and doing all this and putting up numbers, the highlights are like 4 years old. I was like, what is this?
He did have a lot of
I thought he was better than this. He fell off, y'all. And I don't like to talk about other people, but it was fair. Like,
I want to say this. There's definitely some reasoning for some of those players. I felt like Mamadi Diakite, if you actually look at it, first of all, he's very tall.
Oh, well,
he's good at.
I don't know enough about him. That's different.
I think he's like 6'9" and good at hitting threes. Like we could have used a player like that last year,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair. That's a good point.
Also with Shake Milton, like I think the Knicks are very intentional when they signed him. It's actually the piece they needed to trade for.
Right.
And the reason they were able to trade him is because he made just a little bit more than minimum. And then you saw when Shake Milton came over, everybody was kind of excited. Oh, we got another guy on the bench. And Shake says, "No, I'm not playing." Shake was like, "Oh, I'm coming. I don't think I'm going to play much." And it could have been something like Brock Aller is like, "Hey, come sit on the bench. Like we got plans for you." You know what I mean? Yeah. And it seemed to work out. Brock, I don't know. He got a little, he got a crystal ball or something, but he was able to know that's the piece they needed. Trade summer.
If there's one thing this offseason has taught me is that there's a lot of players that are like 6 to like 3 million salary that like they're not a superstar player, but when it comes to a trade, they're insanely valuable actually, because there's just not that many players that make exactly that level of money apparently that are like worth trading.
Yeah. So I think going into last year, like even Shake Milton said, "I'm not going to play. I'm going to help the team how I can, but don't expect me to play."
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's the point. I think that's what the Knicks are really good at doing that, man. Brock Aller and the capologists and other people he's got working with him, they figure out a way to make sure that they've got some pieces they can move. And they keep them on the team.
At this point, we can confidently say like we have the most competent front office in the league. Probably, I don't see anyone else moving like this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only other. I was just going to say the only other front office that I could say that I think is pretty savvy, because people hate on him because of the way he does things. But Sam Presti, he be cooking over there at OKC. He be cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fritz.
Yeah, I think with Campaign, I think they did the deal early. It just worked for both teams. Campaign was in his little legal situation. He didn't have to think about going to China. You got what you call it. You have what's his name? Going over to China. They have some pretty good players this year playing overseas. Like the Knicks took.
Bro, there was one player who was like a 22-year-old player for China that was balling out, like 7-footer. I forgot his name.
Yeah. So I think the Knicks kind of helped him out, and he's gonna help the Knicks out in a trade mid-season.
Yeah. And plus, listen, the other thing about this is you get situations, familiarity and comfortability that allows things to be a little bit more palatable. You know what I mean? You can the taste ain't that bad. You know what I mean? Precious is coming back to play with the Knicks in New York. He likes New York, the area. He's around his boy OG. Not that they're that close, but I'm saying that's still that familiarity. And the flip side with Campaign, hey man, I may not be able to play a lot. I'm on the bench. I'm in New York. You know, love the city, and I'm here rocking with my guy Macau. And you know him and Macau are close. So it's like it's a little something extra there that they can benefit from.
I do think he'll be an excellent bench cheerleader, though, from what I've seen.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
He is. I like to call him Theo Pinson 2.0, but he's actually got some game. You know, we need to put him out there. We could put him out there. Sorry, no offense, Theo, but I see you call it like you call it. I'm gonna call it like I call it. You know, you were the greatest cheerleader ever, brother.
I did think also Charlie Brown Jr. did not get enough credit as a cheerleader, for what it's worth.
Maybe. I think what's going to be missed right now, but you know, you never know because we haven't filled that spot. I mean, Thibs may need somebody to tell him how many timeouts we got. So Ryan Arcidiacono, if you're listening, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, listen, I don't want to keep up too much of your time today on this beautiful Saturday. There's a lot going on. The weather is fantastic. You guys should be enjoying yourself. And I'm already this show is like short. It's already 2.5 hours. But my whole point is like content is a little dry in the summertime, especially right now. And I don't want to just stay on to talk for the sake of talking. I want to be able to talk about something.
Can I actually ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys watch soccer? You guys watch soccer at all, like pro soccer, football?
You mean football?
I don't know if you guys are fans.
Well,
my dad
honestly,
was a soccer player, so
I'll be honest. I don't watch a lot of soccer. I mean, when World Cup stuff is happening, I do see stuff that's going on, but I've never really been into anything anymore. If I'm just being honest. So, but continue, because really, like even my love for baseball is gone. From where we used to be. Everything is Knicks and basketball for me right now. I don't even watch the Mets the way I want to. But continue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am Moroccan, and Morocco has lately been performing pretty well on the world stage of soccer. So obviously, I'm supporting them, rooting for them. Right. I will say though that I think one thing we like in the general, because I'm actually the opposite of you. Like I've always been like on the outskirts of the Knicks fandom. My family has always been super big Knicks fans, but I'm like watching the heartbreaks and the disappointments. I'm just like not in for that, But now I see the team is like different, I have enough heartbreak and disappointment in my life without the Knicks, so But I think that one thing, like if you watch, they're called ultras, like the things that they do in the stands of the soccer games, they do with like the organized chants that are really complicated, and they setting off fires in the stadiums and stuff like that. I don't think we should be doing that in Madison Square Garden, just to be clear.
Right.
But I do think the reason why I'm bringing it up is like they actually have groups that meet outside of games to like organize chants and stuff. That's why their chants are like so complicated. And our chants is usually like fuck Trae Young, fuck Embiid, like fuck Boston.
Yeah, you mean F and F, right?
Yeah, sorry. Well, if we're chanting it, it's a little different.
No, in soccer, they don't care about none of that. Yeah, they're YouTube. First off, are there soccer YouTube channels? There has to be, right? Yeah.
There's big ones, bro. Big ones. Well, the only reason I'm saying that is like I would just like to see us as a fandom, like when we all went to Philly, and we invaded the arena over there. I'm like, we should have gone and done that for the Indiana series, bro. Like, imagine someone made like a Knicks deal for like the hotel and airfare. A lot of Knicks fans would have showed up just to boo the Pacers in their own hometown, bro. I would have. What are you talking about?
Well, I think that at the time that everything was going on, obviously I'm following what's going on in Knicks Twitter. They were talking about it, but then some people were like, yeah, they were talking about it, but then some people were like, what is there to do in Indiana? All right, after the game, what we're gonna do?
New Yorkers is too spoiled, bro.
That was the problem, bro.
So they had nothing to do after the game. I'm just saying, like, I know that the soccer you got to give credit to them, even though we're all basketball fans here. I mean, who's more hardcore than like soccer fans? They're just on another level,
monstrous.
Just do us a favor, look up Moroccan ultras, like the arenas the things they do in the arenas, like it's like poems that they're chanting. It's so unbelievably like deep, the stuff they're saying. And just like I would love for the Knicks fans, a couple of new songs for MSG next year, spice it up. That's like kind of where I'm going,
All right, I'll check it out because I'm always interested in seeing good stuff like that. I like fans fanning. I like when and when they do it together, the unity that's involved is cool. I think that's really
I'll
dope.
put it to you like. Hold on, sorry. You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I'll put it to you all like this, okay? The whole team is upgrading. We as fans also have to upgrade to meet their level as a fandom.
I hear you. That makes sense.
Not the
I
same
mean, as
old
long as we
chants,
could
not
do
the
it,
same old songs.
yeah, if we could do stuff like that and get creative and be respectful, I'm with that because Knicks fans, they're creative, but it ain't
The passion we have. The passion we have.
it ain't respectful. And Trae
No,
Young,
we're not a respectful fan base. We gotta be honest.
My fault. I almost called him out by his stage name. Rayford Trae Young is still talking about his F Trae Young stuff.
Wait, his name is
Yes.
Rayford?
His name is Rayford. Yes. Yeah. You heard
I'm
it
sorry,
here.
bro. I'm sorry, bro.
There you go.
That's not no Trey. Okay.
Anyway, and look at this guy. Hey, Wiz BK. Why would anyone watch the Mets? Thank you, Wiz. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.
To see Grimace throw out the opening pitch.
So yeah, man. Let me just get around. Oh, what area are you at, D-Rex?
I usually live in Williamsburg in Brooklyn. My family has like a summer home in Jersey, some bougie place. But
what?
I'm usually it's not me. I don't live out here. I'm just visiting.
I went to the.
Wait. Hold on. Wait, you live where?
I live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. But I'm currently visiting my parents' house in Jersey. That's fancy.
Wow.
Wrong cookout. Ron, wrong cookout.
Do you know where Ron lives, D-Rex?
I'm curious.
Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Wait, really?
I grew up here all my life.
Your neighborhood day is my also neighborhood day?
Yes, it is. Yes. You out there in them streets. That is crazy, bro. I've never seen you in the street.
I'm like so curious. Now I do now look more for like Knicks jerseys and stuff, but I'm like, I mean, I would definitely recognize you if I saw you.
Usually when I walk around, I've got like a Still Knicks fan button. I just walk around with it, but no one says nothing.
I'm like, are you more on the south side or that's crazy?
No, I'm in closer to the Lorimer L train.
I live off that stop. That's so weird.
Yeah, this is really nuts.
Hey,
wait! There's a neighbor that I never see. No, I'm just no. That's nuts.
Next show, I'm gonna come to your house, bro. I'll do the live cast. No connection issues.
That's nuts, dude. And that's funny because John and I both grew up in Williamsburg. That's where we're from.
That's nuts. I grew up on the Upper East Side, so I'm technically a transplant, but I've lived in Williamsburg for like 15 years already, We
respect you. Damn, 15 years? Wow. Okay. All right, guys, listen, this show has been great because we've got breaking news. The Williamsburg connection has happened. Who knew? I'm
as surprised as you, bro. Yeah.
That is crazy. I'm like, because I'm looking at your area. I'm like, it looks beautiful over there. And I'm like, where is he?
This is not my normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. Well, you enjoy your time up there, bro. But definitely now I'm going to be, every time I walk outside, I'm going to the store. I'm like, D-Rex?
I definitely will bump into you someday.
Now, of course, now that we know that we're in the same area, now watch. One day we're going to run into each other. It's got to happen.
For some reason, when I hear like a basketball fan, especially OG, I just think like the Bronx, Harlem, like that kind of spot. But I mean, we have street balls spots here, in Williamsburg.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, like I said, this is the area that I've grown up in. I left, I came back. I used to live. Yeah.
You lived like what, like in the 80s in Williamsburg, even?
Oh no, yeah, I grew up here. 77. I left here when I was.
I know the 80s was not so nice,
No, Williamsburg was definitely different in the 80s. Yes.
Damn, yeah. Dark.
It was definitely different in the 80s. It's okay. We enjoy it now. Listen, when I walk, if are you kidding me? When I walk 2 blocks, I'm sorry this conversation has changed, guys, but I'm ending the show anyway. When I walk a couple blocks down and I see a Chanel store and a Hermes store, I'm like, what is this? So yeah. It's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Well, we'll do the link up the next call, I guess, the next show.
Yeah. This is dope. Who knew? This is crazy stuff. Wow.
That's wild.
Okay.
Real OG.
So yeah, let me just get around to everybody. D-Rex, your final words before I get out of here.
Go Knicks. I just think that everyone, like I said, from the fan base to the players to every single person who goes to see a game this year needs to step up their level. We as fans, like as creators of Knick content, like on every single aspect, this team, this organization needs to be united and firing on all cylinders this year because it's a special, special year that we have planned for ourselves this year. And we worked and sweat and bled and cried to get to this point to be excited for upcoming NBA season. So we should really like all try to up our game for that.
100%. I'm with you on that. I like that. Also, before I get over to Fritz, guys,
Peace out, y'all.
all right, brother.
See ya.
Donald said, looking for a partner to go in on a season package. Anyone interested? Listen, if any of you guys are interested in going in on a season ticket package, but didn't want to do it by yourselves, Donald's another guy who's in the same space, and you know what? He's looking if anybody's interested. They got different season package deals. I personally can't do it, but maybe someone else is available. And Donald, listen, if you serious about reaching out to people, if you got an email address, put your email address in the chat so somebody can grab it, so they can reach out with if anything if they're interested. Fritz, my brother, final words, and also don't forget to plug your show, and when's the next time you think it might be coming on or whatever.
Yeah, NBA Economy Show. Not a lot of Knicks stuff going on right now, so I might hit a little general NBA stuff around this time, but definitely subscribe. My message to everyone is welcome to all the new bandwagon Knicks fans. Welcome you with open arms. We just require you to do a little bit of research. We are more than bing bong and shenanigans after games. So do a little research. You can wear the merch. You can wear the hat. We're cool. So welcome.
There you go. I like it. And when's your next NBA Economy show?
Tomorrow. I'm gonna do one tomorrow. It's gonna just be on. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna do a little show on NBA suspensions because I think suspensions have been kind of light in the last couple of years because back in the day Stern was hitting people from now these players the suspensions ain't hitting like they used to be hitting.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah. Interesting. All right, guys. Well, then there you go. NBA Economy. Tune in some point tomorrow. Fritz is going to be dropping another show. Please go support him on YouTube. Show him some love. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to my guy Saul. What's going on? Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you're just tuning in now, man, Replay Gang. There's another good show. We had a really good talk about Julius Randle, and we talked about OG Anunoby as well as Tyler Kolek and Thibs. Respect, and surprisingly enough, he really thinks that Tyler Kolek could be one of the steals of this draft, if not the steal of the draft. So interesting. Donald had asked, how many games do I go to? Honestly, 1 or 2 games a year, Donald, for different reasons. One is because when I do go to a game, I have to be really careful and diligent. A lot of people are able to live their lives out there. So, I'm more power to you guys. But, I have a family member that's home that is sick, dealing with the long C word. You know what the C word is, but dealing with the long C word, symptoms and stuff. And so I really have to avoid and be careful of trying to be reinfected with that and bringing that back home because, compromised immune system and stuff of that nature is not a good look. So for that, I try to limit my exposure. And that's the reason why, honestly, it's not that I don't want to attend events or you don't want to see Still Knicks fans representing ourselves somewhere. I do it on purpose to avoid being around a bunch of crowds and stuff and being in confined spaces. So that's kind of what it is. But like I said, and just so you know, that is how I did get sick in the first place. We had a Nick day where we did a live podcast. Then I went to the game, and then back to the live podcast again at the bar. And I was a little reckless that day, and unfortunately, it cost me, and it cost my family. So I'm trying to be a little better about that. So long story short, Donald. And then shout out to Wiz BKLA. He says, anyone forget to smash that like button? Let's get to 100. Ron, can you show them what it looks like? As a matter of fact, I can, Wiz. If you guys don't know what the like button looks like, please smash that like button, support the show. It looks a little something like this. There you go. Thank you, Wiz. Appreciate you, my brother. And listen, Wiz, I don't know what's going on with you, brother. You haven't been on the show in a long time. I miss hearing you talk your jive, man. Appreciate you, bro. Hope everything's good with you. Hope you're still cooking your salmon on Saturdays, and staying as healthy as you can. You got to keep them bad vocal cords straight. I don't know why you trying to sing, but when you do, I guess you got to do the right thing. Take it easy, Wiz. Appreciate you, brother. Yep. Thank you, Andios. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Dwayne Dennis says Bushwick Project, Sumner Houses, Tompkins plus Marcy Project. Okay, you know it. You know the area. Hey, look at you. Yeah, all right, look at that. See, you just never know. Put something out there, you find out a lot about people. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Once again, continue to look for more and more content from us here at Still Knicks Fans. We are going to try our best, and if I can get to any events this year, I will try. Obviously, outdoor events are a little easier for me. That's why I'm a little mad that I didn't sign up to go to this. Like, if the barbecue was on another day, I would have definitely went out there. And also, I wish I would have signed up to go to the roommates thing. But it is what it is. So yeah, man, appreciate you all. Continue to support Still Knicks Fans, whether it be in super chats, any of that stuff. It's always welcome. It's always good to see you guys in the chat, supporting, liking, subscribing, telling your peoples about the show. Remember, we are trying to get to 3K, so please, if you can, share the show. Tell your peoples about it. All we want to do is have good Knick talk and watch these Knicks, take their game to the next level and possibly get us in contention for a championship. It would be great to celebrate that with all of you. And also continue to look out for the posts that be made on different social media. We are trying to ratchet up the level of content that we put on not only YouTube but on Spotify, on TikTok, on Instagram, on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Continue to look, because we are posting more and more different things. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and also, stay tuned. Like I said, every day we're dropping a new content creator spotlight. So if there's YouTube channels out there and you want to know, that you can sign up for or check out, by all means, check us out on Still Knicks Fans. I'll be posting a different content creator channel each day, so things you should look for. There's so much out there, and we're all one community. We should try to support and champion each other, because that's the best way to grow. And also, it shows there's no hurt, there's no hard feelings, there's no animosity there. I think we could all eat. There is over 9 million people in New York City. There is, I think the numbers were like, there's 2 million plus Knicks fans, right? Even the biggest channel in the Knicks universe has about 80-something thousand subscribers. There's 2 million Knicks fans. So what does that tell you? There's a bunch of Knicks fans that can support all of the channels that we have. It's a big pond. We can all swim in it. So I appreciate you guys once again. Thank you for tuning in and being here. And as I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks Fans. We'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays at 11:30 for Know the Ledge, Mondays for SKF Weekly at 9 p.m. It may change, it may stay the same, but for right now, with my brother my brother John and my other brother Jose, and obviously, as we get closer to the next season, stay tuned. There might be some more content that happens throughout the week, and also stay tuned for the Nothing But Knicks content that we'll be doing in the future. So continue to support, and we will be here to always support you guys and hear what you have to say about our Knick team. I think that's really it now, guys. I think I'm done. All right. So, I feel like there's something I'm missing. I don't know what it could be. There's something I wanted to tell you guys, and I just don't know what it is. It'll come to me. And if I forget today, then I'll just wind up telling you guys on Monday. Either way, just continue to rock with the team, man. No matter what goes on, no matter if we're talking about the young guys, the Koleks, the Dadiers, the Huck Porties, no matter if we're talking about, our guys that stepped up this past year, the Josh Harts, the Dante DiVincenzo's, the Deuce McBrides, or if we're talking about our starters, the Jalen Brunsons, the Mikal Bridgeses, the OG Anunobys, the Mitchell Robinsons of the world, and Julius Randle and everything that surrounds him. Remember, no matter what, we are still Knick fans. I'm out.